Passion Azteca while I stare at a model. This is Cannibal Holocaust with Ruggero Deodato. 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 This is Cannibal Holocaust with Ruggero Deodato.
Yes, y'all, it's going down right now. Episode 147 of the 22 Shots of Moods and Horror podcast is coming at you live. I am your host, MOOD to the Z, representing BC. Y'all feel me? Yeah. And of course, I got my two 90s lepers in the house with me. Double Fail J, aka JP, and the retired NES Ruler 22, also known as Jeremy the Jew in the house. And we are all proud to welcome back to his second podcast home, the Boston Brando, D Nice, D Borgie, 129, D Shots, Cinema Attack.
Now you're taking JP's joke and it's not funny.
You know what's
and he's
fucking
here in the
fucked up?
studio tonight with us. Yo, what's going on, guys?
It's fucked up that you guys never got that joke because I got it like after the third time he did it.
If we were given the doll hair for every time that fucking JP cracked that joke, we'd be rich by now.
Yeah, we would.
We'd have about 80 doll hairs.
Dude, you know what's funny?
No, you'd be rich if we actually fucking, noticed that he was cracking that joke.
You know what would make us rich is if more people like Lurtz6 donate to the Patreon. We got a new Patreon subscriber here, Lurtz6. Thank you, homie, for the donation and contribution to keeping this show alive.
3 doll hairs, right? You gave 3 doll hairs.
The amount doesn't matter. If you want to donate 1 doll hair, I'll be fine with that. You know what I'm saying? But it's all about the support, homie, and we appreciate it. Like, more than you can know. We talk about it all the time off air, how amazing our listeners are. It blows me away. I'm just
saying doll hair because I think it's really baggy that you say doll hair.
You've been saying it.
I'm going to keep a fucking tally on this show for how many times Jeremy reuses the doll hair joke. He's already said it 9 times.
I know. Like,
We've been recording for 2.5 minutes and he said it 9 times already. That is... And he talks about people rehashing jokes. Oh, my Lord. The king over there. The king.
The king of rock.
So Derek,
that's why he can't have a soundboard because he doesn't know restraint. He doesn't know control. It's about timing.
It's a nervous twitch, man.
Comedy is about timing, Jeremy.
Like Uncle Ben says, with great power comes great responsibility.
That's true. Derek. Uncle Ben does say that.
Jeremy, why do you gotta be such a downer, man?
Debbie.
Jesus.
Debbie Sue Voorhees?
Because it's all the sand in my vagina. I can't help it.
If this was if you were a snack cake, you'd be a Debbie.
So JP, how about that main event yesterday? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's some violence. You want to talk about horror? Watch the Korean Zombie. See right there, horror versus Yair Rodriguez MMA fight. Whoo, boy, that was some good stuff. But I don't want to get too into that because people get upset with the football talk and the MMA talk, and that's pretty much all we talk about besides horror.
Fuck themselves, so
yeah. But I did want to, just shout out Lurtz6. You're the man. We appreciate it. Right, guys?
Yeah,
right.
Man. Good stuff for you guys, man.
Derek's like, yeah. Good job, guys.
No, I want to actually give a shout out to a listener of both my show and your guys' show, Rob from Georgia, who just actually had knee surgery recently.
That was a hip surgery.
Yeah, hip surgery. Yeah.
God, get the surgery right, Derek.
Dude. Same area.
There's only one person.
That is not the same area. Knee surgery and hip surgery, that's a little bit different.
Well, either way.
it's a thigh apart.
Yeah, man.
Either way, shout out to Rob because I know he gives you guys help with your ratings and stuff. So
yeah, thanks.
Hope he recoups, Rob. Man.
That's something cool about our listeners too. Is there is people that help us with stuff. Like if we have trouble finding a film, like Derek might have it, or somebody might be able to point us into the direction to find it. If we need help with like website stuff, like the ratings, which was a huge pain in the butt, and Rob took over that for us.
Or if you guys don't want to spend $30 on a DVD that looks like a washing machine.
Rob is more of a member.
It's totally cheap.
Rob is more of a
Because
member of
it's
the
cheap.
podcast than Jeremy is. He actually does more work.
But let's see if Rob from Georgia wants to watch fucking 13 Puppet Master films. All right, motherfucker.
Speaking of Puppet Master films, I think me and Derek both have some Puppet Master. Yeah, I thought I was done with Puppet Master. Puppet Master
They pulled you
came
back
and
in.
went, and I was like, man, I'm so glad I don't have to mess with any Puppet Master for a long time.
but you
And
only
here I
got
got roped in
You
to
got-
doing another Puppet Master podcast.
No, but you probably volunteered to put your name into a hat, and then you only have yourself to blame there, man.
Well,
I mean,
I
if you
really
wanna-
didn't volunteer. All I said was, man, we just covered these. It was a pain. And then Duncan from over at Podcast Under the Stairs is like, are you volunteering? And I was like, well, whatever, sure. And then
You're gonna read
So it's
Puppet
official. You
Masters
did volunteer
again?
yourself to do more.
I
Puppet
mean, I
Master
did, but not
discussions.
intentionally. It was kind of just, after somebody asked me, it was like, I didn't want to decline and be.
So you're reviewing the entire franchise again?
No.
No.
I haven't podcasted with Duncan
I'm telling you
before.
one thing,
I've always
man.
wanted to.
To avoid that like the plague, if I was commenting on that post or whatever, I would have probably just left the group.
I'm confused as to what's happening.
No,
So
what
I didn't
We're
get
gonna
duped
explain,
into
just
doing more
wait,
Puppet
just
Master
wait.
bullshit, man. Fuck
What
that.
Duncan does on his show, he does, instead of like a whole franchise by himself, he does what's called a Russian roulette franchise show, where he takes a number of podcasters and put them in one bowl, and a number of films that are in the franchise and put them in another bowl, and he picks the film
matches them
first,
up.
and he picks who's going to review that film with him.
It's kind of like what we did with the horror franchise roundup, where we had all you guys that were previously on the franchise and brought you back. But
Yeah.
theirs is a little bit more random.
It's exactly like that, and how we recorded our Saw show, where we didn't record it all at once. That's how this is, where he's taking time and recording each review with one person, and then he releases them in episodic format, though, right? He doesn't just
He releases them like he'll do like I think he's doing like 1 through 5 first, and then because he has other content too that he does like the 88 Films Italian series on his podcast as a side podcast.
Yep. He's a busy podcaster, man. You would swear it's his job.
Yeah, plus he
Because-
does like
oh man, I want to get
shows.
down with that shit. That's fucking cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, he does
You should reach out to him and,
The
and do
88
one of those with him.
Italian?
Yeah, he goes through the 88
Oh, that's awesome.
How does he do it, Derek? You've listened to it, right?
Yeah, he does it like each episode's like a different like release. So I think he's up to like the Sync. I forget the name of the movie he's on. It's the Umberto Lenzi one though. I know that it's like a crime movie.
Does he just review the film, or does he talk about the release too?
Yeah, he talks about the release and the features if there's features on them.
Oh, that's
So-
cool,
See,
man.
I had a podcast called about the Vestron releases like that.
Yeah, but like everything else, that failed.
It didn't fail. I have another episode edited. I just
Double
never released
fail J.
Yep. 31 Days of Horror, he fails. Vestron, he fails.
What
Evil
have you
Dead
ever succeeded
podcast,
at,
he
Jimmy?
fails. X-Files podcast, he failed. Married with Children podcast, he failed. What else has
But
he
you see,
done?
Jeremy doesn't actually attempt to do anything.
Yeah,
I never
it's
said
like,
I
it's
did. He
knows
like
it's a
you
sure
fail
fail.
every attempt you don't
Oh
try.
yeah, Ash vs. Evil Dead podcast, he failed. Forgot
That's
about
so
that.
true.
one.
We finished Ash versus Evil Dead.
Oh, you didn't?
Yeah, we finished the
Jail's-
first season and decided to not do it
Jeremy's
again because we didn't like the
mentality,
show.
man. Jeremy's mentality: fail before you start.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, at least I'm out there trying things. He's sitting there whining that he got to record with us.
Some say that's the Bran Orlick way. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course you're gonna not fail if you don't try, but I mean, I like trying different things. I like seeing what's out, trying different things to have fun and maybe something will stick. Sometimes it doesn't. It's cool.
I don't.
Yeah,
really,
yeah, I'm experimenting.
I
too,
don't really
man.
like that word. So everything that I start, I always finish. I
Yeah.
really don't like to fail. So
Yeah. I mean, you could look at it as a fail. I could look at it as moving on, trying something else. But I'm still doing the Vestron show. I do like doing it. It's time consuming. You got to watch every feature, all the commentaries. It's really time consuming.
Oh
but
yeah,
I
that was
do
the
have.
Shout Factory, the Scream Factory series too. You found that too.
I didn't fail it. I just didn't do anymore. I never said I was going to do every one of them. But yeah, I mean, it's I have the Return of the Living Dead 3 one like 90% finished. I just need to finish it up, and I'll release that on the Patreon, which is another reason to check out the Patreon. But yeah, so I'm gonna be doing Puppet Master 1. I think I record Wednesday with Duncan, which is pretty interesting. I haven't been on
gave you one of the worst ones.
That was going to be my next question. Which one did you get? I was hoping it was going to be one of the Axis films.
1. No, I was just honestly, when I got Puppet Master 1, I was actually relieved because I just really like, at least Puppet Master 1. Yeah, it's a little boring and stuff, but it's a fast watch. Like, yeah. I didn't want to get, and honestly, I could talk about it a little bit more than like Axis Termination or something.
Oh, you know who got? Guess who got that one?
That movie.
Don and Ellie.
Yeah, Nelly.
Oh, well, he'll give it a 10 out of 10 right there.
We should have had Don on for another Italian show this month.
You know, the Puppet Master show is so recent, too. Like, that shit should be still fresh in your mind.
It is.
It's only a couple months old, right?
I actually got part 2, so I'm kind of relieved on that one, too.
As I'm looking at it, man, over 2,000 views. It's crazy.
Yeah, our Puppet Master show killed it. It's actually one of our most successful shows of recent, which is crazy.
It is crazy because it's 6 hours long.
Yeah.
That's what's very surprising about it. So.
Yeah. Who else is doing those, Derek? Was there anybody else I knew?
Well, there was a few podcasters I knew in there, like Gary Hill was in there, and Doug
Mike
Tilley.
Merriman, I think's on there.
Yeah, Mike's in there. Doug Tilley from No Budget Nightmares and Theme Warriors, who I love No Budget Nightmares. It's one of my favorite podcasts to listen to because they do like low budget cinema or micro budget. Really good stuff. I actually listened.
I hate.
They did a commentary for The Dead Next Door on the Blu-ray. Doug and Mo.
Fail before you begin.
It's on the Blu-ray,
right, Jeremy?
Yeah. Dude, I've had to watch so much shit moods. Don't give me that. You know I hate low budget cinema.
Well, they don't like everything.
But you like some of it, man. You
too.
like Gutter Balls. I mean, that's fucking micro shit ass budget.
Is micro budget.
Like,
yeah, the Jeremy, they don't like everything either that we review. They just review it anyways because they get the Patreon picks too. You should listen to their episode of Where the Dead Go to Die. You know, the animated film moods that Unearth released.
Oh,
yeah,
my God,
reviewed
dude.
that.
That movie, man. Jesus. See, that's kind of fun, though, because there's a lot of low-budget, indie, micro-budget films that are... we know, even as fans of these films, they're fucking terrible, but having a show based on that would be fun because you're constantly tearing apart shit, too, right?
Oh, they play sound clips from it, too, and shit. Yeah. It's fucking hilarious.
Have they done Skin Deep yet?
No, I think I might have to donate and give that to them.
I just heard Mikey say, fuck you. I love that movie.
Dude, you know what's fun? Like, so, Duncan, it's very interesting because Duncan has done a lot of the similar things that we have in terms of, like, episodes. Like, he has his, what do they call it? He does it through, like, the summer. It's like he goes through each year, like, kind of how we do, but in a shorter time frame, like a top 10 of the year. Does he call that? Does he call that something, Derek? Or is it just like top 10 of the 70s or something? But he does it like in the summer. He did the 80s last year and the 70s this year, or vice versa, actually. 70s last year, 80s this year, I think.
He does it by decade or by year, covering a whole
decade?
He does
it. He picks a decade for the summer, I think.
Oh, and then he goes from 70 to 79.
Yeah, there's more than one show, too. So they do like 71, 70, 72.
The way I interpreted that at first was he's doing decades, and I was like, how in the fuck do you make a top 10 1970s
Well, here's how he does it.
That's insane.
He does, actually. So what he does is, but he does it in a different way. So I like it. It's cool. It's something different. But he gets 10, he does 10 shows.
Yeah.
He picks like the 70s or something, does 10 shows with 10 guests. The two guests come up with 5 films each from like 70, 71, 72, and so on. And he does like they do a top 10, and then they select 2 of those films to go on for the final top 10.
My head's gonna fucking explode.
And really, it's not that complicated. What is wrong with? Are you dumb,
Jeremy? I swear to God,
it's like literally one of the simplest things ever. And he's like, "Oh, I can't follow along, guys."
I question how you got through, college, man. Sometimes
3.95 GPA, bro.
How did you do it?
Sometimes I really do question it, man. That's really not that hard to follow.
Yeah, it's very simple, actually. So, and then, you know, out of
that's
the
cool.
20 films at the end, they cut it down to 10, and that's your top 10 best of the 1970s. But they, you know, it's cool because they go through each year too, and you get to hear about everything. It's not as in-depth as ours because we spend an entire like 6-month period on 1 year, but in a short format, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And he does tons of interesting, unique. That's why I think he's one of the best podcasters out there, because he does very unique things. Like his first show I ever heard was back in like 2015. It was actually on Horophilia. It was called Doing the Nasty, and it was literally them going through each and every video nasty that existed. It was literally a video nasty podcast, and
You know, I had the
finished
idea.
it up.
Yeah, I had that idea years ago, and I actually ended up
YouTube.
going through with on YouTube, but I ended up doing the 52 horrific weeks of a specific year for a couple years. But I thought about doing the video nasties, and I'm glad I didn't, because, you know, it's been done a few times. But Horrible Reviews, if you guys know who he is, he's covered those, and he's like he's probably one of the greatest YouTubers out there. Like his editing skill, he actually does that for a living.
Yeah,
like
he
his
is good.
videos are incredibly done. Like he's funny, he's talented, like. And I'm so glad that I hadn't done that, because that shit just would have blown me right out the fucking frame. Like his videos are so good. And I'm not.
I thought about doing it too, but then I watched a few of them, and this was probably around the same time you were thinking of doing it, which is funny. And I don't think we've ever had a conversation.
No.
But I watched a couple of them like in alphabetical order, and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this, because they were like,
let's place a bet and over and under how far JP would have made it if he decided to do it.
You know, it's actually quite interesting that we're even talking about him right now, because I actually watched his, I think the 4th video. He's on the section 3 list right now of the video nasties, and he's covering them, and he's on part 4, which is, you know, he does 5 films at a time. And I actually watched that video last night. Pretty interesting, but amazing stuff. Like, dude is super entertaining. He's fun, and he's a really big hip hop head. He's actually a producer too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, he's cool. He actually, you know, I think he can make like a living. I think he makes a living. Does he? He does a real. I know he does his like.
He does.
You know,
he's into
editing and stuff.
Yeah,
but
editing is.
He also is like, his channel is very successful. Like,
well,
he makes money off of his channel for sure, right?
I could not believe this, man, because when I first subscribed to his channel, he actually had a different name. It wasn't Horrible Reviews. It was something else.
Yeah.
But anyways, he had, I want to say around what I have right now, maybe about 8,000 subscribers. And it was like a year later, he had 100,000. I was like, what the fuck?
You know what it is,
How did that
right?
happen?
You know what happened is the most disturbing videos that he does. Those just blew up, man.
Yeah. And it's, you know what, the thing is, I always stress
which is
that,
good
like,
because he actually makes good content.
He does.
If anybody blows up, you want to see somebody blow up that actually makes good content.
Yeah, not
because
like the
there's
flick
some
pic.
YouTubers out there who I think are terrible and biased and just say whatever they've read and stuff. And it's like they're.
Can I name 2?
Go ahead.
The Flick Pick and
oh man,
absolute sublime. Jay is biased. He's a biased mode.
and that's
I
one thing.
haven't watched an absolute sublime video in years.
Oh well, the thing is, he gets all that shit for free, and he says what the companies want to hear because he wants to get more free shit so he can sell it. I mean, we all know it. It's fucking blatantly obvious. But
we have seen him sell a lot of his
the
shit.
thing with Jerome, you know, Horrible Reviews, is that he's
name Jerome.
Yeah, I think so.
Huh. Wouldn't expect Jerome out
he's
of that.
he's a Dutch boy, man. I don't know. It's weird, but
I think Flickpick has like multi-million subscribers.
Oh, for sure. But he's very unbiased when it comes to like he's kind of like us, you know. He'll give a good rating to a film that he personally doesn't care for overly that much, you know. But he knows and respects the specs and what the film stands for and shit. So I like that, you know.
Yeah.
He always brings.
I watched a video one time of him showing how he produces his videos.
Yeah.
Like a behind the scenes thing, and I was like. I knew it was a lot of work because I've done some video editing, like nothing super crazy, but I know how hard it is and how much time it takes. And he, did the math and showed how many hours it took to watch the movies, how many hours it took to write the notes you see how many hours it takes to do one video. you're talking like 24 to 30 some hours per video.
Yeah.
And I think it really puts in perspective the amount of work that any of these things take, but especially that. And I just thought it was fascinating because we know how long this show takes.
Yeah.
And that's even more difficult because you're doing video.
Mm-hmm.
And it's impressive. It's impressive. And I do think that listeners and viewers of content need to truly understand how much time is put in just for one episode. Like, we're just sitting here recording. Like, that's easy. Turn on the mic, record, right? It's still a 4 or 5 hour chunk. You can't do anything else on the day we record, like Sunday, because you have to be available from this time to this time. So the whole day is taken up. On top of that, you have how many hours it takes to watch the films. And then if you have any other, what we watch, you need to have stuff for that, and, all the other segments. And then also the editing and the post-production, the thumbnail, the inserting audio clips. Like, so let's say you are listening to the show, Moods, and you want to put in an audio clip, right? Yeah. Like, you got to go get that audio clip. Like, it's going to take 15 minutes minimum. And just for 1 second, just for a 20-second clip.
It's
what I mean?
It's not even just like, finding the clips. It's sometimes I'm so bad with it though, because I'll fucking search around and I'll find like 5 or 6 clips, and then I'll find more, and like it'll take me like an hour to find one clip because I've sampled through. I'm like, that's okay, and then I'll find something else. I'm like, okay, that's better. Yeah,
especially if you have an idea, like you have an idea of like what you want to do, but there's not an actual clip for, like, it's not from a movie where you're just like, oh, Smokey says it's Friday or something, you're looking for like a specific sound or something. You're like,
it's like when he found that clip from at the beginning of the 82 show. It's like, how the fuck do you know where to find that shit?
Yeah, like that
was
so
a great specific
clip. You know what, man? I actually came up with that one a couple months back. I was listening to the record and I was like, oh, dude, this is so fucking perfect, man. This is just so great. But yeah, and actually, Derek reminded me one. Yeah, Derek reminded me of a sample that you'll probably have already heard as you're listening to the show. That I was going to use. And I actually posted like a year ago for this episode. Pretty fucking interesting.
Yeah, but Derek just fucking remembers everything.
It's insane to me.
Which will be a future episode coming next summer of the 22 Shots of Moods and More podcast, where Derek embarrasses all of us.
Yeah.
Well, I'll probably be picking that episode. That's probably why I know it.
No. This is something under wraps still.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
but to go slightly back to what I was saying, this is why, with Patreon and the way that podcasts take donations and video makers take donations and stuff now, it's nice. It's nice to get that little bit of recognition. Like, hey, if I'm a fan of something, if I'm really into something, if I listen to an MMA podcast every single Monday. I love it. It's fantastic. It's such a good show that I look forward to. I know my Mondays are going to be chill because I have at least 2 hours of that to listen to. So whenever they launched their Patreon, I made sure to donate to them because to me, it's like they've literally given me hundreds of hours of entertainment at this point. Mm-hmm. And to just, I don't pay much. I only pay like $2, but still, it's something to give back to this podcast that I love because it got me through so much boredom at work, on Mondays and sometimes Wednesdays.
I bet you we are over 1,000 hours worth of content at this point altogether.
Hours, you said?
Yeah, 1,000 hours.
Probably.
We're pushing 150 episodes, average shows probably over 3 hours more.
Come on, Derek, professionalism here.
I don't know, man.
It's getting close. It's and honestly, like, we're not the best podcast out there, but I think that based on our listenership, like, you guys like us enough, and I think it's cool that, we have people who like us enough to be like, you know what, I'm going to show my appreciation by donating to you guys. And it's not just that too, like, because some people, if you can't afford it, that's 100% understandable. There's other ways to help, sharing our show, liking our YouTube videos, that helps just as much, like, we like cash, but I love when people actually share the show or tell other people, hey, check out this podcast.
But guess what? Jerry didn't do that a few weeks ago because he's a no good piece of shit asshole. Sorry, I had to throw that in. Even though we're on the same fucking network as him.
We're not, though. That's the thing. You keep saying that, but Jerry hasn't been on Horrorphilia in like 6 months.
Good. Nobody wants him. He would just bring the show down. Isn't Married with Children on Horrorphilia?
Yeah, but Jerry's not on Married with Children.
Yeah, man.
Wasn't he?
He left at the same time JP did.
We both left at the same time.
Shows you how much I care about Jerry.
Or me.
JP.
You mean my co-host?
Yeah.
Your co-host. You are on a show with Jerry, huh?
Yeah, Underwater Kaiju
Is
from
that
Outer
on
Space
Horrorphilia?
presents Visions from Monsterland. No, that is on Legion Podcast.
That's good. He could stay there.
Home of great shows like Hail Ming Power Hour.
Legion does have some good shows. They do. But, Horrorphilia has some great shows, I'm just saying.
They both have good shows, and they both have their certain co-hosts that do shows on both networks, which is cool.
That is true. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
But anyway, in to wrap everything up,
That was a long intro.
just like you tip your
intro.
just like you tip your waitress, tip your content providers, especially in today's world. So if you really like horrible reviews, join his Patreon or at least like his videos. You know what I mean? And the same goes for any other people that you support or get enjoyment out of their free content. It's a lot of work, man. And it gets discouraging sometimes if you put a lot of work into something and it doesn't do too well. Like Italian Horror Month.
Oh yeah.
No, Italian Horror Month is it. Regardless if it does well or not, it does well over time, and also it's something that we like doing. So every once in a while, we don't always just do what's popular or most viewed shows. We do a mix. We do stuff that people want to see, but we do stuff that we want to do as well.
It happens, man. I remember when, because I did one with you guys for a whole month, So I know So I know
the Derek run, the infamous Derek run of 2016.
There's a JF1 era, JF2 era, and a DB1 era.
It's interesting. You get a lot of hyped comments for Italian Horror Month, but
Yeah, there's diehard fans of Italian Horror Month, though.
it's just,
there are. It might not be a mass fan base, but we do have diehard fan bases for Italian Horror Month.
Yeah,
I like
man.
that people are starting to use the hashtag. I feel like it just brings a tear to my eye where I'm like so happy that people are using that.
What I like
I
about this
wanted it
month
to be
too
a thing
is
so bad.
what I like about this month too is especially when you guys do Argento every year, of course. Well, for a few more years, anyways. But I like when you guys mix it up and do like some of these probably lesser known directors too. Like I know next week's show you guys are doing DeLeo, which I think will be interesting for the aspect of letting people know about his work and stuff, because he has a lot of really good films, even in the non-horror section.
Yeah, that's why you got to pick somebody weird, like I do. Not like those losers.
Jeremy's strategy is not picking someone weird. It's picking someone cheap. Where you can get all the releases very cheap.
That's not true.
That was your tactic last year. You flat out said it.
This year, the movies weren't cheap.
You tried to pick a Greek person this year, dude.
No, I tried to pick fucking
for Italian Horror Month. He's like, I'm gonna pick this Greek director.
But he made Italian films.
Yeah, surprisingly, all those DeLeo films released by Ruggero are very inexpensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's
Especially the one in the
he's a
crime
great director.
box.
He's a great director. If you're just a fan of Italian cinema in general, check out his crime films. They're totally awesome. Totally good shit.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Italian Horror Month. Episode 147. Of course, we are doing Ruggero Deodato. And, yeah, man, that's exciting. That's my pick. That's my pick for... Actually, I think this was what I was going to do in the first year, but then I changed it to Fulci. I think that's how it went.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I went with Fulci, of course. But yeah, Ruggero was finally here after 4 years. People kept mentioning him, like, when are you guys going to do Ruggero Deodato? So
I tried to convince Jeremy to pick him last year.
Yeah.
And he's like, why don't you pick him?
Well, because JP's picks are already pre-picked.
So bad.
Weird. Italian horror 5 and 6 are going to be Argento.
Yep.
Whatever episode.
How many more Argentos?
We gotta
do have
finish
to
it
do?
out now. There's only 2 more possible.
Oh god, that last one's gonna be fucking.
Can you
Unless we
imagine?
did a writer's spotlight.
Can you
'Cause
imagine?
I think he has a few writer credits.
The next 2 years, Italian horror month 5 and 6, we finish up, and then Sandman finally gets released.
Yeah, it still wouldn't be enough though. We would only have
No,
2
no, we could definitely make another episode. You could either do, Argento's short of the Black Cat from Two Evil Eyes. You could do, shorts from. There's other work. There is other stuff. I guess we already covered the Masters of Horror stuff.
Yeah,
Did.
yeah.
Shit.
Because I had thought about that. I thought, is it possible to do an Argento 7? And
Once Upon a Time in the West, which you wrote, which is a western.
that's what I was thinking. I was thinking of reviewing his written work. That's great. But the one thing that I am bummed out about this particular Ruggero Deodato episode is the one film I've been wanting to cover since we started this shit was House on the Edge of the Park, and we still haven't done it.
Well, you could always do it next.
Well, you could always pick.
I'm not picking him.
So shut the fuck up.
Oh, it'd be great if you did that and Body Count the next time, because it's like a David Hess double feature.
Well, you could pick it. All you gotta do is donate. Patreon.com.
It's true. I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of directors. We need to return to Mario Bava. That's probably desperate at this point. We probably should go back to him next year. And then there's Fulci out there still. And then there's still a bunch of other guys that we haven't even hit yet.
Yeah,
Cozy. Who else is there out there?
there's the
tons.
Bruno
the Death
Mattei.
Walks, the Death Walks Twice dude.
Alalato.
What's that guy's name?
George
This guy-
Romero. Oh wait, he just sounds Italian. You know
Who's
what?
that guy who directed
I
the
totally
Death
stole
Walks
that joke
movies?
from Horror's Ball. I heard him say that once. I thought it was funny.
Straight up Spanish, man.
The Death Walks Twice, and Death Walks on High Heels and Death Walks on Midnight.
Oh, Ercole?
Yeah, you guys could do him one year.
Yeah.
Bless you, Derek's sister.
What
That
the
was my
fuck
mom.
is that?
That was my mom,
Oh,
actually.
bless you, Derek's mom.
Yeah,
This guy's turning into Andrew Schroyer.
the point is, I think people are getting a little bit restless with not hearing us talk about Mattei films because, there's Fragrasso. There's lots of guys, man.
Oh god, the Fagrazzo
I
episode.
don't think I want to talk about Mattei films, honestly.
Why?
I don't think I like any of them.
Have you seen any?
I've seen a couple, actually.
Which ones have you seen?
Oh, man, his later
let me
Cannibal
see.
films are so fucking funny. They're awesome. They're totally good.
I've definitely seen some Mattei. I've seen Shocking Dark. I've seen Zombie 3.
Yeah, shocking.
I've seen-
Zombie 3 is still a Fulci film, though.
Yeah, the only things Mattei directed were the scientist stuff.
Well, Zombie 3 definitely isn't full Fulci, right?
Only the scientist stuff in the rooms and stuff where the scientists are talking and
Well, Bruno
the
Mattei-
guys in the suits. That's
Yeah.
all. The
I've
Mattei
seen
stuff.
The Other Hell.
Even in an interview, he even said, Fulci did 70 to 80% of that film. He only shot little minor parts.
If I was a Fulci fan, I'd be like, no, he definitely didn't direct that.
No, even the flying.
Love
head
Zombie
thing
3,
was
man.
Fulci.
I like Zombie 3 too. It's
It's
just
so much fun.
I don't think it's up there with his.
Oh,
best
did you
films.
guys see Rats? Did you see Rats Night of Terror?
I haven't, but I've definitely seen a handful of Mattei films.
Shocking Dark. We wouldn't cover that movie. That movie's pretty shitty.
I think I have that.
I actually like
right?
Oh wow, it's pretty.
Terminator 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Severin released that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got that I never watched, of course.
Of course. All right.
Hey, I'm being honest.
Patreon listeners,
What
listen
about
to that.
Claudio Fragossi?
I just
Let's
said
do him.
Fragossi.
Monster Dog? Ooh.
No, Troll 2.
Oh, he did Monster
do the
Dog.
Yeah,
Troll
but
trilogy.
Monster Dog is fucking actually legitly
But
good.
But Troll
do
2 isn't Italian, so we couldn't do it.
But some of these films that we did of Argento aren't Italian, right?
Yeah, but I fucking picked a Greek guy, and he made Italian films. What's the difference?
Because
what do you
it's
mean Troll
it's
2 is not?
Italian directors.
What do you mean Troll 2 is not Italian?
What do you mean Troll 2 is not Italian? Dumb
Oh,
fuck.
fuck you, JP. You're just saying that because Mood said it. Fuck you.
Well, for Grasso directed it. It's fucking straight up Italian. It's an American Italian production, so that counts.
He didn't do Troll 1 though. That's the problem.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That was a Beekler.
Oh, for Grasso would be funny to do.
I think this is gonna.
Yeah, for
Give him a
Grasso,
tie.
for Grasso would be funny because I've seen a few of these movies.
All right, Derek, you're gonna have to come up and decide if this is the longest intro in the history of the 22 Shots of Moods and Horror podcast.
No, you guys had longer.
We've
ones,
had
I think.
hour long intros before.
Yeah, one.
Oh, dude, it happens all the time.
Guess I just don't pay attention like always.
if we do him in time, man, we have to do Hell of the Living Dead though.
Night of the Demons episode.
Thank you, Derek.
Really?
You know
Is
the
that
worst
true?
episode in the history of the 22 Shots of Moods and Horror podcast had the longest intro.
I don't know if it's the worst episode.
What's worse?
I don't know. I don't even know what's best.
Exactly.
What was even bad about the episode?
Well, we just I don't think we had fun, honestly. I think we were like annoyed at each other that night or something.
And the
Or we
intro
just
for Night
maybe
of the
me and
Demons,
you were annoyed at Jeremy.
the intro for Night of the Demons was only.
Well, you were
16
annoyed at me because I don't like the
seconds.
remake, and you're like, "What the fuck? You don't like the remake?" And I'm like, "How the fuck do you like the remake?"
I love the remake.
It was one of those back and forths, like we're on the fucking elementary school.
And I
ground.
think we argued about something with part 3, like just something random, like that didn't even matter.
I don't even fucking remember. Man.
I don't know. Lewis says that's a good episode, though.
I've heard from
Oh,
some
Lu-
people they like that one. I don't know. It's it's different because when you hear it from the outside and you didn't live it,
I'm
comes
surprised. I
off
honestly
different.
was surprised how many.
Yeah, I know
people-
that feeling.
Favorite episode is 133.
It is the best episode. Hands down the greatest episode.
I liked the episode a lot. When we got off, I was like, man, that was definitely one of our best episodes, but I didn't think it was the best.
Which one? Is the one with no title because it was supposed to be floating heads?
I personally think that I think it's the 15 top 10 15 show with Exploding Heads. That was
That's my
that shit was
favorite.
funny.
Yeah, that's the one that I even dropped. I
Well,
was like top 10 of 2015.
That
Or
one was
The
just
82 show was really good, I thought, as well.
yeah. Christian wasn't on that one, right? On the
No, it's
15
just
one?
me, you, Brandon, and Dave.
That's right. That's right. Fuck that.
Yeah.
My stomach hurt for like
That was
4 days.
that was a great episode.
That's
Yeah, that
brutal.
was the first time we got together too.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, there's some great episodes out there. It's weird to say. You know, you have your favorites as a host. It's hard to say what the best episode is when you're or your favorite when you're.
Even my girl Carly said episode 133 was her favorite episode.
Your girl Carly.
My girl Carly.
That's
My
your
girl Carly.
Something that Jeremy will never say again. Right there.
Yeah, a girl that actually talks to me. Holy shit.
Wow, that is impressive.
Imagine.
Maybe she feels
Imagine
bad
that.
for you.
That's all right. At least she still talks to me, even if she does feel bad for me. I don't care.
You're a funny guy, Jeremy.
Why are you trying to hit on my girlfriend?
Yeah,
Because
what's this bullshit?
it's JP's girlfriend. So I have to at
You
least
better
try-
watch your wife.
Yeah, really, right?
Yeah, I'm going to come
Swoop
take Aaron
in.
away from you, too.
Swoop in and fucking. Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Well,
She couldn't handle it anyway.
oh, what? All your whining and complaining? Probably not. I could just imagine you're trying to get with her, like, come on, let's go, let's get this started.
Yep. And then she'll listen to episode 18, which is Torture Chamber, and be totally fucking turned off.
It should be
That
turned
is
off.
the worst episode in the history of the show.
Yeah, well, because
Episode-
somebody
It's-
didn't
it's
watch
one
the
of
main
your
review.
worst episodes.
Episode 18, listen to this. We have me not watching the main review, me reviewing Gummo, and
You reviewed Gummo that episode? It's been
talking
a
about
while.
Halloween 3D, which never happened. And
Yeah, crazy.
what dead body would you hook up with in a Friday film? What the fuck is that?
We used to get some weird questions. I remember that.
What dead body would you hook up with in a Friday film?
I know me and JP argued about the film because he hated it and I liked it.
I don't even remember it. I think that I barely watched
And who
it.
reviewed Antisocial? Didn't we do that in a main review?
That was me.
You're thinking of antiviral.
Yeah, I did antisocial on that episode.
Dude, where the hell is Brandon Cronenberg? I remember we watched Antiviral and we're like, man, I got high hopes for this young lad. And it's like,
he hasn't done anything since.
Damn it.
Let's see, things that were taught in Antiviral. From Dusk Till Dawn, the TV show. The Wolfman, the TV show. Eli Roth, the Lost Years TV show. What the fuck is that? Is that like what the history of horror is? Or is this like a TV?
It might be.
Then we have Dominion, the TV show. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
TV shows were so big back then.
Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark TV show.
Which turned into a movie.
Child's Play 7. Sanitarium. Carrie, which we will never do on the show. I don't know.
What the hell are we
Please
talking
do
about?
Carrie. Please do Stephen King Carrie.
Oh, this is the news, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Scream Factory from Beneath.
Episode.
From
Reviewed
Beneath.
that movie.
I think it was just Beneath, right?
Yeah, that's when
Yeah, it's just that's the killer fish one.
Yeah, I like that movie.
Episode
fun
2.
movie.
Yeah, the fish looks cool.
I thought so.
I thought that
It's just
was
interesting to like go back and look at these old episodes and what we talked about and like all this shit.
It's funny how much of the news
I
that
had
we
an
reported.
idea for an episode once where we literally, the only thing we do is we just go back and talk about anything we remember from each episode.
Like
Just-
episode 20.
Oh, you guys should do like a trivia game where you guys make questions.
Funny
We were
you
gonna
had to
do
say
that.
Good lord, how does that
How
go?
the fuck do you guess what we were talking about last week?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You really do know all. Detailed Derek.
Episode 23, The Sacrament. We talked about Blade 4, Lars von Trier TV show, The Gremlins reboot, ABC's of Death 2, Carver, whatever the fuck that is, Scream Factory, See No Evil 2, and Nightbreed. Episode 23, The Sacrament.
Carver's a slasher
Yeah,
film
you know,
from mid-2000s maybe. I probably talked about that one.
Carver.
It's very
It's got some
interesting
nasty
when you
kills.
go back, right? And you
Episode 25, The Monkey's Paw. We talk about some Stephen King.
that's another movie you didn't watch.
Paranormal Activity 5. No, wait, 6. No, wait, 5. Oh, wait, what's Paranormal Activity 2 Tokyo Nights? We end news with an odd announcement of a direct-to-sequel of the 78 film I Spit on Your Grave, which now
still
has
hasn't
3
came out.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant
Still
like...
hasn't came out.
That's hilarious.
They filmed it though.
Yeah, I know it was filmed.
No, it's definitely interesting going back and looking. I do it all. I do it from time to time.
Episode 27, The Battery. Twin Peaks, The Purge 3, Zombieland 2, which is finally happening, Amityville The Awakening, and Chucky versus Annabelle.
Oh, that would have been fucking Oscar worthy.
All right, stop telling us this. But this could actually be an episode one day.
All right, man. So before we quickly get into the news here, Derek, do you want to do any shameless plugs for Cinema Attack and other shows that you're part of?
Yeah, what are you doing on Cinema Attack? Are you doing an Italian episode at least?
Yeah,
For
we
November?
actually recorded one. I think it'll be coming out next week. Also, we did a commentary on Rats: Night of Terror.
Yes. Nice.
I want to do more commentaries. That was fun when we did that.
Yeah, we also have another show coming up, which is Italian theme. It's not really horror related, but we're doing the Bronx Warriors trilogy.
Nice.
The
Yeah.
ending of the Hip Hop Witch commentary is the greatest moment in the history of the 22 Shots of Moods and Horror podcast.
It's not, but I mean,
Yes, it
it's
is,
pretty
dude.
funny.
When fucking Vanilla Ice shows up, that
With
shit.
Rob Van
and
Winkle?
Moods loses his shit.
All I remember
It's
is
so funny.
All I
Dude,
remember
if
is
you-
Jeremy asking
listeners,
for
listen.
why there's no.
That
All
was
I
actually
remember
pretty
from that
funny.
commentary, Jeremy, is you asking why is there no naked white guys in it?
I remember Jeremy
Yeah.
saying something about the car that was really funny. But listen.
Oh,
If
that
you
movie
listeners
sucks.
listening right now have not watched the Hip Hop Witch commentary, you're like, maybe you're not really feeling commentaries, or you don't really know what it is, or you just don't want. Some people are just scared to try something new. Just do it. It's funny. It actually turned out great. So you can find it on Horrorphilia. I haven't put it on the website yet.
Vanilla
But we'll-
Ice is in it.
It's
And
fantastic.
Eminem.
Hilarious.
And Eminem and a whole
You get
bunch
to
of
watch
other...
the movie with us, see how bad it is, and actually laugh at some of the stuff we say.
It's pretty funny, guys. You guys got to watch it. It's fucking hilarious.
And that's coming from Derek, who likes everything we do, so...
Nice. All right, man.
That's a good thing.
That is a good thing. That's not a bad thing. All right, well, let's move this along.
News.
That is a long intro. That's
For
a really
news,
long
yeah,
intro.
that one might have broke the record.
So let's move it along. Let's get into the news.
News?
With
there's not a ton of news. With me? With JP?
with Double Fail. Yep.
Dude, that's mean. It's at least like quadruple fail by this point.
We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
First up, a little bit of news. Not really news, but I just figured I would throw it out there because we had talked about this before. Basically, somebody on Twitter asked Fede Alvarez, "Yo, I need to settle an argument in a group chat. Is Evil Dead a remake or is it set within the continuity of the original films?" What do you guys think? Fede Alvarez said.
Is it a remake or set in the time?
Is it a remake or is it set within the continuity of the original films?
Well, it could be with the dimensional shit that happens in some of the Evil Dead movies.
I mean, I guess it could be considering the car is sitting there. It could be part of that time period, but it can also be I don't know.
Jeremy?
Sorry, my internet shit in the bed for once. What were we talking about?
Oh, nothing. I'll just answer it. So,
We were talking about the Evil Dead, right? I heard about the car.
Yeah, it was about a...
Well, we talked about it when it came out. We're like, okay, is it just a nod or is this supposed to be like in the same world?
Yeah.
But then some people were like, well, it wouldn't be because the car's in the medieval times. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, here's Fede Alvarez.
Yeah, but that happens. Yeah, I guess. I mean, if you put that in the timeline, like say after and shit. But I mean, if it's before, I mean, this movie could be taking place before Army of Darkness.
When does Army of Darkness?
Yeah, but
take
I don't
place?
think it is because it's I'm pretty sure it's modern. Looks modern.
Are you saying Army of Darkness is gonna go back to the? I mean, Evil Dead 2 is gonna go back to the 1700s or whenever the fuck that movie takes place.
No. And I don't think it was the 1700s.
I mean, I
When
truly
was
don't.
it?
I think it's like more of a remake, to be honest, with nods in there. That's the way I interpret it. But
I mean, yeah, that's what
yeah.
I do. But people, fans were questioning it when it came out. I remember that.
yeah,
But I've always thought that it's one of those situations where it's like it's a reboot, but at the same time, it's not specifically starting over. It's more of like a soft reboot in which it's like, yeah, the other films could technically exist, but we're not explicitly saying that. Anyway, here's what Fede Alvarez had to say about it. It continues the first one. The coincidence on events between the first film and mine are not coincidences, but more like dark fate created by the evil book. Parentheses, Ash Carr is still there rusting away. So he's basically saying it's set in the same world as the first film, but pretty much ignoring the sequels.
yeah. Well, that was kind of what I was getting at too. You know, it takes place before Army of Darkness, kind of thing.
Yeah, or just... Well, it couldn't take place before because Ash's car wasn't... Because Ash's
Created.
car wasn't... Because Evil Dead 2, the car would have been... The car's old and decrepit now, so it's like, it couldn't, right?
No, I meant between the original and part 2.
This one does? This one would take place between the original and part 2.
Yeah,
Unless
that's what I was.
it's just,
Where the fuck is Ash?
unless it's like
Yeah, I don't know. That is weird, right? Yeah.
He would have to come back.
Unless
no,
they're just ignoring
it couldn't because
part
the
2
car
and 3.
isn't decrepit in part 2. The car's not like rusted away.
Unless they're ignoring part 2 and 3.
That's
too,
what I'm
but-
saying. I think they're ignoring like.
So they're
it's
pulling
like,
a Halloween.
Yeah,
So I mean
essentially.
that's really the only explanation. It would have to be if it takes place after
I mean, that's
the
probably the
original.
best-
It
the
ignores
best
part
idea.
2 and Army of Dark. It has to. That's
I
the only.
think
That's the
that's
only
the
way
best
you can
way
explain
to-
that.
That's the best way to deal with it, I think.
Yeah. That's weird.
I mean, it's kind of weird because it's like Ash isn't Ash really. Then, his hands.
So why does Ash have to be Ash?
Because he's Ash.
I mean,
I know, but
I mean, because people like Ash.
He's kind of the face of the
They
franchise.
like the history of Ash. They like, you know, what
don't
had
the
happened.
Halloween nerds like Laurie Strode's story?
Not really. Most people hate the Thorn stuff that they did. I think I'm like the rare exception.
Yeah,
I like Halloween 6.
It's pretty shitty.
I mean, I like the original 6 storyline, but that's me. So yeah, that's just clearing up some loose ends. Did that uncut version come out? Because I didn't see it at Walmart or anything.
I think so. I didn't check it out yet.
Yeah, I couldn't
Okay.
find it either.
Yeah, because
Strange.
I want to grab that. So after that, apparently, so we talked about this a little while ago, but it kind of has a little bit more news to it now. Which I actually closed the article. Where is it? Anyway, so I read the article, so I'll just go from my memory. But you guys remember when we talked about George Romero's like
Well, this is about the amusement park.
the unreleased film,
Yeah.
right?
Wasn't that last episode you guys talked about that?
Was it? It might have been. Yeah. So apparently, somebody has recently watched it, and apparently they're gonna try really hard to make it, you know, a thing, like to release it. Okay, I got the article pulled up. So it says hardcore fans of George Romero may be aware between Season of the Witch and The Crazies, Romero shot a 60-minute film titled The Amusement Park, made in 1973 but largely unseen to this day. Billed as a PSA on age discrimination. The film was apparently shot for TV but never actually released, and it's making waves on Twitter this weekend. New York Times best-selling author Daniel Kraus, who wrote The Shape of Water, Troll Hunters, and The Living Dead, announced on Twitter tonight that he was watching the virtually unseen Romero movie, which he's been seeking out for the last 20 years. In a multi-tweet thread, Kraus subsequently called the film a revelation as well as Romero's most overtly horrifying film. The people who funded it wouldn't allow it, and no wonder it's hellish. In Romero's long career of criticizing American institutions, never was he so merciless, Kraus continued. Where can you see this savage masterwork? You can't, but I'm dedicating myself to changing that. Can you help? Yes, probably. Give me some time to figure out what's what. He added, this is truly one of those magical, cursed objects that I cannot believe has fallen through the cinematic cracks. We'll drag it back. Which is, man, that sounds fucking cool, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
I love amusement park films. Those are awesome.
It just sounds like it's George being George. You know what I mean? Like vintage Romero, which it is.
Yeah, but the
It's
question is,
vintage
will we
Romero.
ever see it?
I think so. Like, it sounds like it's getting some push. Plus, George's wife has been pushing for it to be seen. So, I mean, we're probably going to need to buy it from the distributor or like whoever owns it, whoever didn't want to air it or whatever. They're probably going to have to figure out a way to get it off of them.
The fact that this is actually news now is, it's like the light at the end of the it's like the light at the end of the like it's going to happen someday.
Yeah.
You know, right now it's in its very infancy stages of it. Nobody really knows what's going on with the film, but let's face the facts here, man. This is George A. Romero's unreleased film. He's a fucking legend.
It's important. He's an absolute legend.
It's
It definitely should
absolutely.
be
He's like the
released, man.
dude who got 112.
It doesn't matter. Eventually,
Streets
somebody
112.
will pay some money to release this thing because it's going to be a huge fucking hit. You know, and you know, just from the perspective of the horror realm and world, it means a lot to people. It's going to mean a lot to people. It's going to do well. It will be seen.
Like, I can't wait till we do our George show. You know, the double director spotlight of the Dead films, like, because that's one person that we really haven't covered any of their movies. You know what I mean? And he's an absolute legend, like you said. He's somebody that, in my opinion, easily top 5 greatest horror filmmakers of all time. Easily. Top 3, probably. And that's me being unbiased and not saying he's my favorite, but he's damn close to it, honestly.
Yeah.
He's he was such a talent. And yeah, it's something that I like, dude, it's stuff you wish for, right? Like, whenever one of your favorite people dies, don't you wish they had more content to offer the world? And it's like, wow.
The interesting thing about Romero is that every filmmaker, you know, regardless of who you are, where you come from, whatever, they all strive to make a really good film. You know, and the bonus is, as being a filmmaker, is making a potential classic or a classic film. It doesn't happen. There's millions and millions of directors out there that don't have anything worthy of being mentioned in a classic phrase. But what separates Romero is that he's got at least 3 bona fide classics.
All in the same series.
How many fucking directors can say they have 3 films that are classics? Not a lot, man. Not a lot. Yeah. There's so many directors out there. Yeah, a lot of directors have one amazing film. But 3 as that pack the punch that those films do. Night of the Living Dead, arguably, is the most influential film ever made.
Yeah.
In any genre. It's incredible what that film has done. For not just the horror genre, but in films in general. It's become this huge thing. You know, and Romero is just on a different platform. You know, you can't hold this back. It has to come out. It has to.
Sounds cool too.
Yeah,
so
it really does.
I want to see it, you know?
Yeah.
I think everybody wants to see it.
Hell yeah.
Who wants to place your bets that Arrow releases it?
I don't know. I
would
know.
assume there's only one print of it, even if it was shot on anything.
I imagine that it would. I don't know how they would release it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only an hour, right?
Yeah. 60 minutes. Yep. It was it's supposed to be a TV movie.
Hell yeah.
Well, you know what? If they want it done properly, man, send that shit over to Vinegar Syndrome.
and put that fucking Mr. Rogers surgery special that George directed.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Romero used to work on Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, no, but he directed what?
He directed a segment where Mr. Rogers went to get surgery. He had like a...
Oh, a segment
from
a show. Okay.
Yeah, it was like appendicitis. I think I'm not sure what the actual surgery was.
Okay, I thought you were talking about like a real surgery. I was like, what?
No, he did. He actually had a surgery.
Oh, it actually was a real surgery. Crazy,
dude. Mr. Rogers, man, he wanted to get the kids to know about everything.
Yeah, he was
even appendicitis.
That's awesome.
Mr. Rogers was a G, man.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, yeah.
Super G.
I just read an article on him the other day that he was like some ex like CIA agent or something.
Yeah, that's a myth.
Yeah,
we went over that in high school. Actually.
Oh, I could just imagine. I actually laughed out loud.
It'll teach you everything.
Yeah, there was a myth that he was like war veteran with like 10 confirmed kills or something.
Oh, that's bullshit. They even talk about that in the documentary.
That's awesome.
That'd be amazing if it was true, though.
Yeah, all right. Won't you be my neighbor?
And he changed his sweater after every confirmed kill.
All right, so after that, the team behind the new Night of the Living Dead sequel that's supposed to happen has launched a Kickstarter. Now, I don't know if they've launched a Kickstarter for, it's like a little, I can't really tell what it is, but if it's a new release of Night of the Living Dead or if it's going to be for that new film.
Did it make $8?
Did it make $8?
Yeah. How much is it raised? $8?
Let me take a look. But it's for the 50th anniversary of Night of the Living Dead. It's the same company who is, all
you gotta do is buy the Criterion. What else more are they gonna do on top of that?
They've actually already received $15,000 out of their $25,000 goal.
So what else are they doing to it though? Because Criterion's edition is pretty.
I don't know. I didn't.
Wait, are you talking about that? Are you guys talking about the 50th anniversary box thing?
What is it?
You know those box and Night of the Living Dead things that come with the Criterion and comes with like.
I think that was at FYE, right?
Yeah, I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
I think it's like an FYE exclusive.
Oh, I saw a few unboxings of it. It's like
I think Jerry the fucker got it.
I think so. Yeah,
I'm actually not familiar with this. Crazy.
Yeah, I think it's like an FYE exclusive.
It comes with like a booklet and like a exclusive poster for it.
Regardless, that's not what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's for the 50th anniversary. That's why I was confused.
Is this like another release?
This
of it?
is a Kickstarter, so it wouldn't obviously wouldn't be the fucking
No.
FYE exclusive.
But this is for another release of it, though.
No,
I have no idea
it's
what
like
it's
a huge.
for.
It's like a repackaging of like all this shit. It's like a huge box, and they put the Criterion Blu-ray in it, and like a book.
That's what this is for.
No, this is what's
What
at
the
FYE
fuck
right
are
now.
you people talking about?
Derek started it, not me.
No, I started. Because it was from the guys who do like the Night of the Living Dead for the anniversary, and they're trying to raise money and stuff. So they put this release out of it with the Criterion.
So that's linked to this Kickstarter.
It might be, yeah. That's what I'm saying. They're trying to raise money another way too.
Okay, so my question was the Kickstarter. So it's like a totally different release then?
I don't know.
No,
That's what I'm
it's
trying
the
to-
same
like,
release.
It doesn't even seem like a release. That's why I don't know what you guys are talking
Calm the
about.
fuck down, my man.
Man, I'm so
You
confused.
know what
now.
I'm saying?
I'm like having a
They're
Kickstarter
just
for a
talking about
film that's
something that I
already
don't
been.
think has anything to do with this.
Blame Derek. He's the one that brought it up, bro.
Okay, give us the specs on this thing. JP,
It literally says Night of the Living Dead Party Kickstarter. Throw an epic party with the official Night of the Living Dead Party Kickstarter. Everything you need to know. Let the good times roll. And it says, do you love horror films, zombies, and Night of the Living Dead? Do these things hold a special place in your heart? Have you been looking for a way to celebrate the film's 50th anniversary? For those who answered yes, this Kickstarter is for you. And then it just has all the tiers of the shit you get, like cozies and enamel pens and stuff. But I don't know what the Kickstarter is for, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, so we were trying to just get to the bottom of that before you read out the rest of it.
Oh, my bad.
That's
man.
fucking
Yeah,
strange. So like my question, like maybe it is. Yeah, what?
Because
I'm so confused.
It's saying 50th anniversary, but I'm not seeing like a release here or anything.
Yeah. Okay,
So I don't know if it's for the new film or what it's for.
I think it's for the actual like products for like a Night of the Living Dead party. That's what I'm guessing. If that's what the tiers are saying, they're for.
No, the tiers are what you get.
Yeah, so the actual Kickstarter is for a party.
Is it?
That's the way it just kind of worked out in my mind. And those are the tiers. Like if you contribute to this Kickstarter for this Night of the Living Dead 50th anniversary party, I'm assuming with zombie go-go dancers and shit. I don't know, but then those are the tiers. That's what you get from it. That's really fucking bizarre.
That's weird.
I mean, I've heard of Kickstarters for a lot of things, but parties? That's a new one.
I didn't know. I just thought that maybe it was for the like funding of the new film, but that's just me.
But it specifically said 50th anniversary, right? Which makes sense that it's the original film.
Well, I mean, it's the 50th anniversary.
Right,
But
so-
what is they're not saying what the funding is for, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're just
No, I
they
totally
just
get-
launched a Kickstarter where you can get stuff, but I don't see anywhere where it says what are they kickstarting.
Yeah,
That's
what I'm
weird.
saying?
Did you read the
Yeah, I
fine
hear
print?
you.
Maybe it says actually, to be announced later. We'll figure out what we're taking the money for.
At least they give you something, unlike Sandman.
That's bizarre. That's really weird.
Yeah, that's true. At least they're giving you something, I guess.
Yeah.
Just like speechless on that one.
Okay, let's see here. Risks and challenges. If we can't raise the money, we won't be able to make the party Kickstarter. So maybe it is a party, damn it. But with
it's
your help,
literally a
we know
party.
we can get it done. Because our partnership with Image 10 and the recent Night of the Living Dead projects was worked on. We've had a great network of people supporting us, Image 10, and getting the official Night of the Living Dead products. We'll work with you with that network and you to get across the goal line. So if you back us, we'll do everything we can to make sure you're part of a successful project and get you.
Jeez, they have worse
This feels
grammar
like
than you,
South
bro.
Park. This feels like a fucking South Park episode where it's like
They're
they're just like running around, like not telling you what you're donating for.
Night of Living Change.
I don't know. It's weird. Like
Gotta
I don't
be
know if they.
change. It's pretty much what it is. Too. The Kickstarter is just you can if you listen very closely, you can actually hear it saying, "Got any change?"
California is
Oh,
good for the homeless.
I
California
don't get it, man. I don't know
is
what.
good for the homeless.
Well, that's officially the weirdest Kickstarter of all time.
Yeah, I didn't click the video obviously because hear on the show, and I can't listen to it. But
That's pretty funny.
I don't know, man. But they've raised 15,000, so
That's fucking
So
crazy.
all those people have no idea what they donated to. They're just
Well,
it's
I mean,
the 50th anniversary of Night of the Living Dead. Fuck yeah, I'm throwing my
like
loot
it
that
almost
way.
seems like it's like, hey, we're gonna make all this cool stuff like shot glasses and stuff if you guys donate, but we need money to make like that. Like just looking at it, that I'm like,
So it's
do
a
they
really
have all
fancy
this
way of
stuff? Like, I
buying
don't
shit
know.
at a fucking shop on a website.
I guess I don't know.
Really?
I don't know. Like I literally don't know. That's why I didn't know what the fuck.
Why are they spending all the money that they raised on this shit that nobody wants?
Well, I mean, if people are donating, they obviously want their shot
that's what
glasses
they want.
and diapers or whatever they're getting.
Those diapers? What?
I don't know. I don't know. That would be weird.
Yeah, but do you really think they have this shit?
No, I don't know. That's what I'm wondering. If that's why I can't tell if it's like if they're trying to like sell a bunch of like merch, and this is a way to start this merch company, or if it's like they already have this shit and it's funding for a film or something. Like I don't know what
They found all this shit in a basement somewhere.
No, I mean they could have made it already, or
No, I know. I'm just
because the
fucking
company exists. The company's
Yeah.
been around since the original film.
Well, if they have
Yeah.
tiers for a bunch of shit, I mean, I'm assuming they probably do.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. Yeah.
Dude.
Weird, man. Weird.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway,
So-
moving on.
Well, we'll leave the
Moving
link
on
down there.
from
We'll
that.
leave the link down. I'm gonna donate to this thing just blindly.
Okay.
Even if I get a shot glass out of this deal, because I actually collect shot glasses, so that's pretty cool.
How much
Alright.
are the shot
I'll ta-
glasses?
You could just give me the money instead.
Well,
I'll
What?
give you a Blumpkin or something.
Yeah, but he wants the party.
That's very
least
dead
Marty knows
snowish.
what a-
That's very
at
dead
least-
snow.
At least Moods knows what a Blumpkin is.
Oh God.
Or a Roman soldier helmet.
The fact of the matter that actually exists is beyond me. It's crazy.
I heard they were talking about on Stern this week. Somebody called in about a girl that actually gave a guy a Blumpkin because he was high on coke at a club and he had to take a shit, and the lady followed him up into the bathroom and gave him a Blumpkin when he was on the toilet fucking taking a shit, and she didn't even know what was going on because she was so fucking high on coke. It's a pretty epic story.
Great
That's
club
pretty
stories.
dumb.
Great
you don't
club
get
stories.
high on coke to where you don't know what's going on. That's just stupid.
Well,
Sounds like my life story.
yeah, have you ever got a
so-
Blumpkin?
Maybe she was just retarded to start with, man.
Maybe.
I don't
But
know.
mean,
It ended
but
up
who
that he
can't
ended
figure
up.
that out? Even as the dumbest woman in the world, some dude goes to the bathroom and sits on the toilet. Like, who?
Dude, okay. I honestly just don't care about this. Can we move on?
Yeah.
You don't care about Blumpkins? That's weird.
No. I don't. I never find the like that type of
This is what
just
gets us.
stuff funny.
This is what gets all these people that listen to the show all riled up, man. You know, we have disrespectful jokes and tasteless jokes, so we're going to continue to talk about Blumpkins. He probably farted a
Roman
lot. too,
soldier
JP.
helmets.
Okay, move on. I'm just fucking with you.
All right, here's something else I don't care about. USA has renewed the Purge for a second season, so apparently it did
Whoop-de-doo.
pretty
You know,
good.
I actually saw that piece of news and laughed. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, I haven't heard anyone talk about the
I
first
didn't even
season.
watch the.
Yeah,
fucking-
like it
I
felt like
haven't
it.
heard anything.
'Cause
It's going to be a scream that it goes to Netflix and nobody cares about it.
Didn't we even talk about this? We're like, did it even get released? And we're like, yeah, I think the season's over. Oh yeah, that must have made huge fucking waves of.
Yeah,
you
they
know,
just
the
made a
community.
fucking prequel movie just to fucking throw a fucking ad for this fucking TV show. in the
Dude,
middle
you
of the
said
show.
fucking like 18 times right there.
Derek's trying to break his update record.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no. So
You sounded like the dude from fucking Adam Green Short, where he's like the fucking Jack Chap back in.
like how he's like, Derek, you just said fucking 18 times, and he's trying to explain it to you, and he says fucking like 8 times.
I had to.
Yeah, it's funny as hell, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just have no interest in that shit.
Maybe it's actually good.
But I'm surprised, though, with all the shows that got canceled after one season, all these horror-related TV shows that got canceled after a season. The Purge is one of the shows that made it through and got a second
Dude,
season.
people like the Purge. Like you look at what the Purge election year made, or the first Purge. What is
See,
the last one?
I
The first
told you,
Purge?
man. I told you.
It made a bunch of money.
See, I was cool with, the new Purge. No, I didn't really care for the new Purge film. Actually, I didn't really like it at all. Thought it was actually kind of
Yeah,
sad.
it was fucking.
But
Horrible.
the fact that they were, trying to do a prequel. I mean, this is where they fucked up, man. They should have just said, screw the we don't need to tell the story of how the Purge started, whatever, and get all socially fucking, have all the social commentary and bullshit in there.
Literally, what the whole Purge is about.
Yeah,
the whole series.
But this one was just a huge jab at Trump. It was just like
It's propaganda.
That's what they are.
But of
They
course,
are.
But this one was even
I'm
more
called
blatant.
a racist when I call it out the way it is. I'm a racist.
Yeah.
I just say it's a huge fucking propaganda movie.
But it was
That's what
also
it is.
but it was also a bad film though too. Like it was just everything about it was cliche. But anyways, my point is that they should have probably strayed away from that and just did what I originally told them to do or said or mentioned was
stupid.
do it on. Shut up, man. Why is everything I fucking come up with stupid?
It's not. It's just the boat stuff that you come
It's
up with.
scary
is stupid.
because you don't have anywhere to go. Could you imagine the Purge on the Titanic? How insane! Like it's a big motherfucking boat. There's places
That would be fucking amazing.
but there's nowhere
Oh,
to
fuck you,
technically
Derek.
go. But there's no
Stop sucking his cock.
I don't suck his fucking cock, you motherfucker.
Jeremy. Oh my god! Seriously.
He's sucking your cock. He's
I
saying
like
it's
boat
awesome.
movies.
So even if you know deep down that that's a fucking pretty fun idea, you're still gonna be like, fuck that shit.
I don't like I don't know. Like it just sounds too gimmicky. I don't know.
How is being on a boat
It
really?
needs Trent Williams on
Because
it.
The
it's
whole
like,
Purge
it's
franchise
like
is
the
fucking
Purge-
gimmicky. It's all gimmicky. It's a
It's
gimmick.
not really that gimmicky though.
What do you mean? 24
honestly.
hours of
What's the
mayhem
gimmick?
that you can commit crimes for 20? That's a huge.
That's
gimmick.
not a gimmick, dude. That's just the story. That's like the selling point. But it like a gimmick to me is something that's like only put there to,
Dude, on a boat is just a setting. That's not exactly a gimmick. That's a fucking setting. It's no different than having it in a desert or at a fucking.
I just want to have it in the
At a
world.
resort.
Like I just want to see more of like the Purge and
Well,
not.
there's only
see
supposed
the
to be
Purge.
But it's
one
been
hour.
done 4 times. It's been done 4 times and not that great.
The
Well,
fifth
that's
one's
because
supposed
they
to
never
be
show
it,
the
so-
Purge. They just show people inside talking about the Purge. You know what I mean? Like or talking about stopping the Purge or how it's bad.
The
Like I just
politics
want it
of
to
the
be a
Purge.
full blown exploitation film where you just see people get fucking fucked up for like an hour and a half.
Pussy
That's
grabbing
what those
motherfucker.
movies should be.
So like Death Race 2000?
Oh man.
Yeah, but not shitty.
They should just make the second one because the second one's the only good one.
I think a new Death Race film just came out.
I think I like the last.
The fourth one just came out.
2, 3, and 4, but I mean, I just don't think that they're great. They're just
Part four
okay.
sucks.
Did you like the new Purge movie? Like,
Yeah, it was just as like solid as the last one. Which it's not great. It's like it's like
fucking
okay,
irritating.
I
it
agree
is
with Jeremy, man.
absolutely
I
insane.
agree with Jeremy on the new one is pretty shitty, man.
I mean,
it's not even a good.
What was so great about the one before it, though?
Well, it
Is that
had
a propaganda film?
for one thing, it
Like-
had way better kills, and I mean,
It literally is, though, dude. Like, it's the whole thing was about the elections.
no, for
You
sure.
know what I mean?
But at least the third one actually had some pretty decent kills. You know,
Did it? Like what?
it did, man. The fucking chicks. Oh man, come on, that one. Oh, dude,
I can't remember, dude. They all run.
there was
together.
some pretty gnarly kills. We even talked about.
I
it
thought
before.
that there was some cool stuff in this one with like the eyes and stuff, like where he's walking down the
the drug
alleyway
dealer
and there.
becomes the fucking hero. Straight
Who,
80s cliche.
what's his name? Scarecrow? Whatever the fuck.
Well,
his
that
name?
was stupid to me because like
It's
the whole point
stupid
is like that they're trying to say that this guy is something like you're supposed to get on board with this guy, but it's like, dude, you know this is the guy that's holding the neighborhood down into the slums, right? Like these type of
Yeah,
people.
he's a total anti-hero. He's the problem in the neighborhood, but then he becomes the hero. Give me a break. It's ridiculous.
But he doesn't even become the hero. Like,
Well, he's
because
part of it. He's part of it.
No, becoming makes you realize your wrongs and then go through them and become something
Yeah, but it
different.
makes-
He's just the hero.
It just
You know what
makes
I
me
mean?
think that whole.
You know who the
resist-
fucking heroes of that movie should have been, man, considering it took place on Staten Island? Should have been the Wu-Tang Clan. You know, representing
I would-
Staten Island. That would have been so much
The whole
cooler.
Wu-Tang Clan just came out and fucked everybody up.
Yeah, dude, it would have made
Like,
a lot more
come through.
sense.
Come
People-
on.
I think people
Yeah.
would have gotten. Could
You know,
you
it's weird
imagine
that none of them.
Ghostface
Yeah.
Killer infiltrates that building and fucks up everybody and saves the day? That'd be like, yeah.
It is weird that they never got any Wu-Tang members in it since it does take place on Staten Island.
Yeah,
too.
they shot. Yeah, man, and those guys still rap Staten Island and shit. It's crazy.
No, I mean it's completely politically charged. It's completely social commentary on, the
Well,
segregation and corruptness in politics. It was too heavy-handed for me, definitely. But I get what you're saying. Anyway, this is not a Purge. First Purge review.
Yeah, let's give our ratings on the Purge. No, I'm just kidding.
I think I gave it like a
Really, it
6.5.
had one laugh out loud moment, man. The pussy grab motherfucker thing was I busted out in the theater, read out loud. I got proof. I started laughing so hard. I was like,
I gave it like an
so
average rating. If I didn't rate,
I just think that they don't do the purges right. Like they try to be exploitive, like an exploitation film, but then still try to be serious and like a social commentary film. Like, no, just fucking go one way or the other.
Yeah, but
like,
you know that's
stop
never gonna happen.
Oh,
they should just go crazy off the fucking charts and just get Tarantino to do.
remember the first Purge movie?
Purge
not the first Purge, but the
first movie
original film. How like the beginning of the movie showed all that footage of like the Purge happening. That's what all of them should have been. That right there.
Well, there's only going to be one more, so.
Is there?
The 5th one's the last one, the guy said.
Oh, I mean, they say that all the time.
Until it fucking blows up and makes like 100 million, and they're gonna be like, "Oh shit, man, we got to make at least 3 more."
Or after 10 years goes by, and they're like, "Damn, we don't have any good properties. Let's bring the Purge back."
This is what's such bullshit to me, man. Is that the Purge is getting a 5th film, and something like Final Destination, which is a pretty solid franchise,
can't get a 6th film. Damn.
Dude, the Purge versus Final Destination movie is going to come up.
And arguably, the last Final Destination movie that came out was pretty much one of the coolest ones.
It was the second best.
Yeah, and it's
Maybe
crazy to think
best.
that one, the way it developed and the way it ended and shit, they didn't get anything else after. That's depressing.
I like part 3.
Are they going to take the Purge in space?
Is 3? Yeah, 3 is the roller coaster one, right?
Yeah.
That's the second worst. But I
Really?
like it.
I like part 3.
I think the last one, man, it really redeemed itself after that terrible 4th one with the cars.
Yeah, the 4th one is so bad.
Yeah, the
But
4th one's bad.
But the 5th one,
the second one and the 5th one are my two favorites.
see, the thing I liked about the 5th one was that it was playing itself out like a normal Final Destination film, and then they kind of changed the mythology in it, and it like worked.
Things we talked about on episode number 26, the Final Destination show. Prometheus 2.
That was 26. Holy cow, that was so long ago.
Prometheus 2.
And I think we were saying the same shit. Where's the next one?
Prometheus 2, The Hatching, Lavantula, The Key,
Lavalantula?
Yeah, I think
Keep-
the tagline was "Too Lava, Too Lantula."
Did we have Matt
Or was
on
that the
show?
sequel? Did they make a sequel of that?
They did make a sequel.
Did we have
Too
Matt
Lava,
on
Too
that show?
Lantula. I don't know.
No.
The Keep documentary, Halloween Sync issues, and Kevin Smith.
Oh, the
There you
Halloween
go.
4 Blu-ray. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
Episode 26.
Anyway, continuing along here, got a couple of release announcements. Oh wait, actually, there was one other little bit of news. This is interesting because okay. So we've been seeing like a lot with like fan films, especially with the Friday the 13th thing as of late. The Never Hike Alone apparently was good, and everybody blew it. I didn't even watch it.
Dude, that's pretty
Sure.
weak, man. For somebody like you who's a huge Friday fanboy, you think you would check that shit out, man.
It's awesome. You
It's
should
like
check
30
it out.
minutes.
Yeah, I don't like.
I
that.
even watched it, and I've never seen any of the other movies.
Dude,
Was it great,
It's legit.
or was it just like?
Dude, for an indie film, okay.
But see, I don't like that. See,
See,
I don't like
I
that.
know,
don't
I knew
wanna
you were gonna
see
fucking say
for
that.
an indie
The-
film.
this-
Is it good or not?
It
is
is
it a
good.
Friday the 13th? Is it a good Friday the
dude-
13th or not?
But dude, you can't compare.
But no, that's why I don't want to see it though, because it's just like I don't. If it's not gonna blow me away and be like, wow, that's just like Friday
Dude,
the 13th.
You
then I
can't
don't wanna
fucking
see it.
tell me that you can't take 30 minutes out of your damn life to check
No, I
out something.
can. I just don't want to.
But it's
I
Friday
can't.
related. It's legitimately
It's
good.
it's not. It's like Friday related.
And
Technically,
I'm not going to change my wording on this shit. Yes, it's an indie fucking film. It has no budget, but they do it well. Really good.
That's fine. I'm sure it's great and stuff like that. But if I'm gonna I love Friday so much that's why I don't want to see it. Is like I don't even want to see that.
I hope I'm right about
I
the
want to
30
see a new
minutes.
Friday film, or I want to see like such a good fan film that it literally just feels like a Friday film. And you can't do that with no money. I understand that.
But it does feel like a Friday film. And honestly, dude, it really, I mean, it's not shot on film like those Fridays, so it's not going to have that type of aesthetic to
nothing's
it. But,
shot on film really anymore.
well, that's not entirely true. I mean, Tarantino
Isn't
shoots
it?
still on film. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, let's
fucking
just put
that
it
one guy.
There's some people that still actually shoot on film, but I mean, it's rare. It is rare. But the point, obviously some indie filmmaker's not going to be shooting on film. His whole budget would be spent on fucking 35 millimeter reels. But
I don't know. I'm just like, to me, it's like I appreciate that everybody likes it and stuff like that, but I just want to see either like a feature length, like badass, like how the fuck did they pull that
Dude,
off? Like,
I am shocked by this, man. For somebody, because you've watched some of the fan film, like Halloween fan films, right?
but I've never watched Friday fan films. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see.
Dude, you know what you sound like right now? You sound like a fucking elitist. You're like,
But
I love Friday films so much.
Elitist, dude. It's just like I don't even want to see. I just don't want to see something that's not what I want to see. You know what I mean? I like Jason.
But how do you know it's
I like
not something
Friday.
you want to see until you see it, though?
Because everybody says for a fan film, it's pretty good. Like I don't want to see it. Like I want to see a good Friday.
The reason why
film,
people say
not
for a fan film, because you have to say that. Because if you say, "Hey, you check out the new Friday," if someone says,
great for
if
fan
someone
film.
says, "Hey, you check out the new Friday film," that will just cause a fucking uproar right there. It's not a Friday film; it's a fan film. Get it fucking straight, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I understand that, and I'm cool with it. But it's like I am sure it's pretty cool for a fan film. I'm sure it's great for a fan film, but
you know what, man?
I'm
I
just
say
like,
check
I
it
just
out,
want
dude.
to see a new Friday film.
I say drop you the elitism for fucking 24 minutes.
But it's not elitism, dude. It's just that I like. It's also not that I'm like never gonna see it or anything. It's just I didn't go out of my way to check it out because it's just a fan film. I don't really watch a lot of fan films.
To be honest,
either.
man, the biggest reason why I checked it out, though, and I was like, and I'd heard some people talk about it and shit, but I was like, man, the runtime is so short. I'm like, why not? It's a short. I like watching shorts, man. If that was part of an anthology.
If it was feature length, I would maybe like be more interested in it.
See, I've never watched
It's almost an hour long.
I've never is okay, so it's almost an hour long. Okay, so but anyways, yeah, it's like 52 minutes or something. I don't know, whatever. But the point is,
What does
Let's
it
see
add?
you fucking,
let me ask
go
you
out
this,
there and do it then, dude. You do it.
What?
Go make a feature-length Friday the 13th fan film. You make it seem like it's easy.
I mean, I do kind of get where you're coming from here.
Back the fuck up. Hold on, wait 1 second. Because Jeremy literally makes no fucking sense here, and I just got to point it out. Because I don't want to see it, that means that I have to go make one. What point are you making?
Make one that you would want to see.
You never want to see. I'm gonna make one, and that way that I'll have something to watch. That makes no sense. If I go make one, I'll finally have something to watch. Nobody even watches their shit. Come on. That's like, why don't you make a podcast and listen to it if you want to hear a podcast? No, that makes no sense.
Even though I'm sitting here arguing with you, I do understand where you're coming from because, you know, I've never watched any of the Halloween shorts. Just because you want to see something like I know what you tried to do there. You tried to make it seem like I was saying that, oh, this is so easy, when that was literally never my argument at all. You just wanted it to be. So that makes no sense. And you wanted to say like, well, why don't you go out there and make a film because you clearly know how to do it, which was not my argument, but you tried to force it in there to be my argument, which is dumb because that was never my argument. Just letting you know. He didn't even lube that shit up either. He just jabbed it right in. But man,
That's what I usually do.
But I get it though.
No,
man.
he's talking about me.
I honestly do get it though, because like where you're coming from. I mean, I don't fully agree with it, but you know, I mean, from my perspective, I never watched any of the Halloween fan films because like I'm not really a big Halloween fan. So I get it. But knowing that you are a huge Friday fan, I figured that would be something that you would take the time to check out, considering it was getting a little bit of buzz and it's worth the time.
I mean, I'm sure it's cool, but let me ask you this. Is it just like Jason stalking random people and killing them, or is it like is there any story to it? Is there any new mythology?
They actually add
is there
continuity to a few of the sequels.
I could get behind that. I think that's kind of cool. But I'm just expecting it to be like, look really good. Like, oh, they got Jason looking like Jason. It's set in the woods. That's cool. That it's like good locations. But is there any story to it? Like, do they add any mythology? Is it a movie, or is it just a sequence of a stalk and slash from a Jason movie? Because that's how I picture it. Just a sequence that looks like, wow, this fits right in there with like what a Jason sequence would look like.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I mean, most of the Friday sequels don't really add too much more to the mythology
but
either.
They do more than people give them credit for. They honestly do. I mean, the 6 is very different from 5, and 5 is different with the ending, and 4 is
5 stands out, of course, because yeah,
but then even 7 is completely different, and 8 is completely different, and 9 is completely different. They honestly are different. People just, that's the cliche with the Friday films, is it's basically the same thing.
They're not that much different that they're like, oh wow, that one's like. That
blew
my mind.
7 is very different from 6.
It's got the whole telepathic thing happening. But
and then 8 is very different from the other ones because it's set on a boat.
I mean, as a film, yeah.
And then 9 is very come on, 9 is nothing like the other ones.
But that's a setting. That's just a setting. I mean, it's not making it a whole lot different. It's just a setting-wise.
But it's pretty different.
But Jason is Jason in, like, every film.
Yeah, okay, but I understand what you're saying. But is that what it is? Is it just a sequence of a Friday the 13th film? Or is it a movie? Is it like
it's actually interesting.
What's that?
Well, there's a story to it.
Is it like just like, is it like what is it like, just like a small, like, you get what I'm saying? Is it just like a couple lines of dialogue? I just picture it one long chase sequence with cool like stuff like that. That's how I picture it, but I don't know. That's just
no. It's not like that. It's weird because it has continuity and shit. It's actually kind of interesting.
I'll check it out.
I mean, it's so short. I don't want to start giving everything away from it either. Is that?
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to give away like the.
It's hard. It's hard to talk about short films.
I'll see it. I'll let you. I'll report back within the next weeks. I actually do report back. Screw you.
The next week.
Jeremy's trying to derail me like crazy tonight, and I don't know why. But anyway, this little bit of news is because I thought this was interesting. I thought this was interesting to bring up because the fan films, right? Like we know what they are. They're lesser versions of something that we like because there's no funding, because they can't technically make money on it. So who the hell's going to fund something without getting anything in return? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's why fan films can never be great. But this is an age of like Kickstarters and things like that. So my question to you guys, and I'll read this article in a second, but I thought it was interesting. What's to say, the rights to Friday the 13th are super screwed up right now. What's to say, like, everybody was like, you know what? We want to just see a Friday the 13th. Let's just fucking pay for it. And what if, you got some good people attached to it, and like you literally made a Friday the 13th film and never expected to make any money on it or anything like that, and somebody just made one, like a real one, like one with $1 million budget or something. You know what I mean? Like, let's say that you got everybody to do that, or not even $1 million. That's a lot, but like $100,000 Friday the 13th film. It's possible, right? Like, could that could
have
be
to
a
be
thing?
fair use,
Well, no, because you wouldn't make money on it. So
that's why I said it would have to be during fair use somehow.
No, it wouldn't be. Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Okay, so where's are you talking about just getting people to fund it and then make the film and just kind of put it out there?
What if you were like, I don't want to just say, you can't be a nobody, right? You can't just be this guy who's like, hey, I'm going to make a Friday the 13th film. Give me all your money. You have to have a track record for people to have trust in you, right? Mm-hmm. But let's say that...
Well, especially when you're throwing around numbers like 100,000 to, $500,000 or whatever.
Let's just say everybody was like, just throwing a name out there or something like, I don't know, somebody who's like kind of indie, like Dustin Mills or something. Somebody who has a little bit of a track record with like, okay, he made movies. Mm-hmm. It's just not some dude who like doesn't know anything. Yeah. And we were like, hey, like we want Dustin to direct this Friday the 13th film, and it's gonna be what a Friday the 13th film should be. It's not gonna be made by a studio with a bunch of. It's not gonna be another remake. Like it's gonna be like a Jason sequel or something. And then like, hey, like everybody donate to this thing. Or even the Never Hike Alone guy, right? Everybody donate to this thing. Let's make a new Friday the 13th film for like $100,000 to $250,000. Do it through Kickstarter, and then we make it, and it's free, and everybody can watch it. Like, I don't know why that hasn't happened yet. I mean, I know why, because it's like hard to get it to happen, but is that
actually possible? There is one happening right now.
Well, there's this news that I got. So, fully funded fan film, Friday the 13th Vengeance, will be a sequel to Jason Lives, starring CJ Graham.
Yeah. I met him. He was a nice guy.
Oh, my favorite Jason, man. I met him last summer.
He tried to sell me more shit that I didn't want, but besides that, he was nice. He's like, you should buy this photo of me and Alice Cooper. I was like, fuck you. I'm already giving you $30 to sign my Laserdisc. Why are you trying to sell me more shit? You seem like a nice guy. Fuck you. Besides that, he's nice.
So,
okay.
It's true story.
So, basically, a Kickstarter was successful. It had a $25,000 goal, and it made $38,000 with 19 days still left to go. And apparently, CJ Graham has signed on to do it, and
the guy from Friday 2.
So somebody's out there making their own
boys.
Friday the 13th film, and I think it's kind of cool because that's literally what I was just talking about. Where it's like, could somebody literally make a real Friday the 13th sequel? Like a real one, not one that looks like a fan film.
Well, it'll be a real, with a budget and stuff. It'll just be technically an unofficial sequel.
Yeah, but
film.
does that, if somebody made one that looked good enough, couldn't you just count it? I mean, it's up to the fans, right? It's our decision.
I mean, yeah, if you want to get super technical, yeah, it could totally fit in perfectly. It's just an unlicensed sequel. Yeah, that's it.
But why couldn't we just take Friday the 13th and say fuck the studio? We're gonna make.
You got to be careful with that too, because
you get sued.
Yeah, because if you're making any type of money off there, they can just be like, no, we have the copyright on the Jason, and you can't fucking use him, and they'll just shut down.
It is interesting because how, is Kickstarter making money? You know what I mean? It's there. I'm sure there has
there's a lot of funky logistics.
If Paramount came after you with their big suited lawyers, and been like, no, this is I would be scared, wouldn't you? I don't know how. You would think that there would be a way to shut that down.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I just think it's interesting. I don't know. The whole fan
really,
film
you can do anything though. I mean, law states that
you just can't make money.
You just can't make money off it. That's the thing. It is interesting because as a Kickstarter, I mean, as long as all the money that you're taking in for it is going back, to the levels in the film. I don't know. I guess you just have to prove it. I guess you just have to prove it.
Alone, people put out a Blu-ray.
Well, they did it Indiegogo, but it wasn't non-profit. It was they put the money to make the Blu-rays and the soundtracks, and whatever else they made after that, they donated to charity.
Yeah, it was all charity money. Yeah.
Because I was just wondering if that's...
You just got to be careful with it, though. All the money that's coming in, you have to be giving back, putting into charity and stuff. You can't be keeping any of it.
You have to have a paper trail for that.
100%. 100%. Because everybody knows about it. If you sell 100 or 1,000 Blu-rays or whatever, that money has to be accounted for and going to charity. It has to be there, or else you're fucked.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah, it's risky business, really.
Yeah,
because I mean, when you're dealing with this type of money and you have all this money coming in, wouldn't you want to just keep it? You're like, fuck yeah, man, I made some money off this shit, but theoretically you can't legally. Right. I mean, you can keep the money, but it's not legal.
Well, to be fair, also, what JP was saying about it being cheap, these guys are actually animated directors because they worked for DreamWorks, so they have made animated movies that did very well, so they have money from that, too. So they did put some of their own money into making this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I get you.
Especially when you see you'll know what I mean.
All right, so
sure.
that's that. The last couple of things here. What you said, Jeremy? You said that Mary Lambert said something about a 4K Pet Cemetery.
Yeah, she posted today that she was working on with Paramount and HDR transfer of Pet Cemetery. So I mean, that would probably assume that a Pet Cemetery 4K is coming down the line.
It'll probably come right when the new one is about to be released.
Yeah, so probably in the end of March.
Makes sense.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll pick that up. I love Pet Cemetery. Finally,
yes, Moods, we know 4K. We know.
I wasn't saying shit.
Oh yeah, you were thinking it though.
Well, I was more thinking about JP's comments. I'll pick that up, and I'm like, what the hell are you going to watch the 4K version on?
I'm eventually going to get a 4K. setup. But
Hey, I never
just
said I
got
wasn't
set back
going to. I said I was just waiting for my fucking. Yeah, I was just waiting for my TV to go, and it just doesn't seem like it's going to go. Oddly enough, I was actually at Best Buy yesterday, and I was just checking out prices, and I was.
They're not that high.
I was looking at the 65-inch Samsung, and I was like, it was still pretty high, but.
I finally.
I'll eventually get one.
Actually, I watched. My friend has a 4K TV, and we watched Evil Dead.
How did it look?
It looked better than Evil Dead ever has looked, but
What kind of TV? What size of the TV was it?
I don't know. I can't.
Was it a big TV? Was it a small TV?
I don't know.
How do you not know how big the TV was?
I don't know. I just don't remember. I see a lot of TVs.
Did you say it was yesterday you watched it?
No, it was like a couple months. It was like a month ago.
Oh.
But I mean, it looks good. Like, the difference is not.
I think that's a bad example because that movie.
Yeah, get Halloween. Pop in Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween looks way different.
I'm sure it does, and I'm sure just like with Blu-ray, there's differences, right? But my argument here is the difference between DVD and Blu-ray is not going to be the same as Blu-ray to 4K. It's just not. You get what I'm saying?
Don't knock it till you watch it.
I mean, I watched one thing, but
yeah,
I'm
that's
saying,
a bad example.
Do you think that it is?
I mean, the difference between the Halloween Blu-ray and the Halloween 4K is like night and day.
Is it the same difference as a DVD to a Blu-ray though?
I don't know. I'm gonna watch Cloverfield. I'll report back.
See, because that
seems like a bad example
VHS,
too.
No,
VHS.
Dude. Unsane is supposed to have one of the best 4K transfers, and that fucking movie was shot on an iPhone. It's okay. So I don't know.
Yeah, but it was
VHS,
still shot in 1080 though. So I mean, it doesn't really matter that it was just shot on an iPhone. It's still shot on a good quality. Those cameras are pretty decent, for what they are.
I mean, let's be honest. Anything that's shot modernly is going to look good. But what matters to us is how is it going to improve the retro releases, because that's what mostly matters to us. Now, VHS to DVD, massive quality difference, right? Yeah. You're talking,
yeah, definitely.
You're talking triple as good.
Well, that's when they were changing aspect ratios too. VHS tapes were 4:3 went into then we started getting the widescreen.
Different looking.
Yeah,
a VHS to a DVD is completely different looking. DVD to Blu-ray, different looking, not as extreme of a gap as VHS to DVD though. That gap is a little bit smaller, but still very good looking. I don't think that 4K, Blu-ray to 4K, I think it's half the gap of DVD to Blu-ray. And, a quarter of the gap. You get what I'm saying? It's the gaps are getting smaller in terms of quality difference because there's only so much quality you can go to.
So Jeremy, what about let's use a decent example, because Evil Dead's a terrible example because that movie was shot 60 millimeter?
I'll do Christine. The difference with Christine, Sony's done premium 4K transfers on their catalog titles. They're the best in the business when it comes to catalog title transfers, for sure. Christine is night and day, man. It's fucking
See, but
amazing.
You say night and day.
It is. Watch it.
Very loosely.
Get a
night
good
and
setup.
Day. Dude,
No,
night and day is like
get
VHS
a good setup and watch it.
Jeremy, what about something modern? Okay, we're talking like the Blu-ray of John Wick versus the 4K John Wick. What's the difference? Because we know John Wick was...
It's mainly because of HDR, high dynamic range. It makes the blacks blacker and the colors, the blacks blacker and the whiter. So
I know. I know what it's doing.
You get more quality.
We're saying how much better though. We're not actually getting.
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I just fucking. It's hard with a modern movie.
Because you say night and day, and to me that's just a lie. It's an exaggeration.
So it's not one of those moments where you pop in, a Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray, and you're like, "Holy fuck, that's insane."
I said that with Saving Private Ryan
because you watched the DVD version of something.
If you pop in a VHS copy of Bloodhook, or even the one that was on Prime before the Blu-ray came out,
well, I use that,
and then you pop in the Blu-ray, it is night and day. That's a good example of what night and day is.
Well, I even
to me,
the DVD version of Bloodhook, the Trauma release, to the Blu-ray it's fucking night and day. It's
Yeah.
insane.
But I think when you're talking two HD things, I don't think they can be night and day. It's just the gap is too. There's not much more quality.
There's not enough room to have that big
for
gap.
improvement. There's not enough room for improvement. Is what
See,
I'm saying.
I just can't argue this because I don't know. Like I've not
I
really
don't
watched a
know
lot
either,
of 4K
but,
stuff.
I mean, just off of one experience, I just don't know. Guessing.
That's
I just
a bad
don't
one.
think there is.
Yeah, that's a bad one to.
Because even Jason,
that.
I think even Lloyd even said that, you know, the Evil Dead it looks better, but it's, you know, it's not like, holy fuck, that's like insane, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's, if you're doing.
But do you think there is? So that's what my question was. Is there, holy fuck, like, do you get those holy fuck moments?
Yeah,
or is it like, man, that looks better than it did last time?
I said holy fuck with Saving Private Ryan, yeah.
Yeah.
And I said that with Blade Runner 2049. I think if you're going to buy two movies for the format, you buy Saving Private Ryan and...
Yeah, but we're talking strictly horror here, too, though.
I know. Well, there's not too many horror titles to choose from right now. I mean, especially catalog titles. You have Christine, Evil Dead, and Halloween. That's it. And American Psycho. That's it. 4 catalog titles. So it's not like you have a...
There was a Chainsaw release, wasn't there? Over in Germany
it's German,
or something?
though. Yeah, it's German. Yeah. So, you know.
All right.
No, Aliens
Well, we'll
on
have to see.
4K?
No.
Yeah?
Aliens on 4K.
Well,
Predator.
Prometheus is on. Aliens isn't on 4K. Prometheus and Alien Covenant's on 4K.
Yeah.
Alien 1 is in 4K?
No.
Okay, well, Predator is.
Predator is. Oh, yeah. I mean, Predators 1 is a pretty big difference between the Blu-ray, and I did see both of those.
I guess I'll just have to wait to see more things come out. I eventually have to get a TV and stuff like that. But, I mean, I don't know. We'll see how we...
I like it. I think it's a cool format.
Yeah, same here, man.
I mean, I think it's a cool format. We were just talking specifics. How much cooler is it? That's the question. Is it worth upgrading right now or waiting a while? How big is the difference?
If you're going to upgrade, you should do it now because this is the year of 4K Black Friday wise. So,
well, I mean, next year will probably be the year of 4K Black Friday wise too, because every year it's going to get cheaper. You know, but is there room for 3 formats? Like, are we going to still see DVD, Blu-ray, 4K? Because that's the way it's looking right now. I don't see any sign of Blu-ray going away or DVD. In fact, honestly,
why can't there be all of them?
There can't. I'm asking. That's my question.
It's clearly doing well if the studios will keep putting out movies.
Oh, that's not necessarily true. There's not enough sample size to really see.
It's been out for 3 years, bro.
I know, and it's doing it's not rapidly
3 years.
You know what I mean? It's just starting. It's just that's what I'm saying though. 3 years we haven't seen much movement until now. The first year there was no movement at all. The second year there was a little bit. Now we're starting to see a little bit more movement, but only time will tell.
If it wasn't making movies, if it wasn't making money, they wouldn't keep doing it 3 years later.
It can make money, dude. You can make money and stay at the same level. I'm saying, is it going to replace Blu-ray? Is it going to replace DVD? Is Blu-ray going to go away and it just be DVD and 4K? I can see that happening more so than Blu-ray and 4K existing. I think if 4K got to the point where I just think it would be the only thing. You know what I mean? I don't think there would be Blu-ray. If DVD fell off, there's no way it's going to be Blu-ray and 4K. I think it would just be 4K at that point.
I don't know. I don't think DVD is ever going to go anywhere. So
I know that's crazy, right? Like DVD is still more popular than
people
Blu-ray
like Mikey Fisher
combined. It is.
DVD
has more. You
is
combine
the longest,
all the 4K and Blu-rays, and there's more DVDs at your Walmart.
Yeah, but
like imagine buying John Wick 2 on DVD. Like who the fuck would do that?
We've come so far. He's like, he's saying it like it's VHS or something. He's like,
fucking
imagine
John Wick 2 on
DVD. What the fuck?
I mean, you should at least have a Blu-ray player by now. You could get them for fucking $10 at Goodwill. Like,
excluding the resurgence of like VHS and stuff, DVD is like one of the longest lasting formats continuously.
Oh yeah, DVD.
It's been over 20 years. It's been over 20 years.
Strongest. It's just doing so well still. Like I still see people buying DVDs, like new movies. Like it's insane. It's insane. Like on like in
I still see it all the time too. It's been 21 years since it came out. And DVDs still sell. It's fucking crazy.
I still buy
bought
DVDs,
a DVD
you know?
too because there's still movies being
I do
released
too.
only on DVD.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, the final little bit of news here is Germany is releasing this fucking massive Psycho box set, and the only reason I brought this up is. One, it has, the 4 original movies, the Bates Motel TV movie, as well as the 98 Vince Vaughn Nation Psycho remake. But one thing that it does and the Psycho Legacy, actually, Rob G's film from Shockwaves.
The documentary?
Yeah, it actually has that. But
Nice.
The one thing that it has different than any other releases of Psycho ever is... it's releasing the original Psycho uncut. Now, what the hell does that mean? Does anybody know what that means?
I have no idea.
I read that too. I had no idea what the fuck
it's
that
a
is.
German box set, and everything that comes out says uncut because they have censor issues over there. So putting the word uncut on the releases is a selling point. It's probably not even a different version of the film. I've noticed that with lots of
this is a version that has aired on TV in Germany, and it's different from our version.
Okay, so it has added TV footage and stuff.
Yeah, but apparently,
yeah,
I just looked into it a little bit further. Apparently, it's just minor little like extra seconds of stuff. So it's not. It's available on YouTube. You can see what's missing out of it.
Yeah. But it's it is a big thing. It's a big selling point over in Germany because of their censorship laws. That having the word uncut on there is like, yeah, you gotta have that on there. That's why you see so many releases like uncut, and it's like a normal release over here, that doesn't say uncut. It's just but it says uncut over there.
Yeah, but technically it would be uncut if it came over here.
If you want to look at it like that, I mean, it's added footage. I mean, it's not necessarily. Sometimes I think of like uncut films.
You're
and
thinking of unrated versus uncut. I mean, nothing is technically
No, I'm not.
uncut. It's all cut.
I mean, there's a difference between an uncut film and a director's cut, right? I mean, director has, input into that version of the film. So, it's usually... And that's why I watch a lot of those, because that was his... that was his version of the film, right? His vision for the film.
But technically, uncut can't even be a thing, right?
No, it technically can't, because there's probably there's hours of every film is technically cut.
Yeah, every film is cut.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you want to get real technical about it, but yeah.
Yeah.
So is that the Bates Motel TV film? That's going to be like it's remastered in high def and stuff.
I guess.
Because that's bizarre. I want to see. What
that's never
like.
been out on Blu-ray before.
No,
so.
I don't even know if you can. It was TV. It might have been. I don't know. Was it shot on film?
I don't know.
For the
I would
time,
assume so.
Probably. Yeah, it was definitely shot on film.
Yeah, probably. If it was on Blu-ray,
it'll just be like any of the
full
TV
screen.
films.
You know what? This is actually. I'm looking at the footage here, and it actually is like you would consider this uncut. It's a longer scene of Norman looking at Marion through the peephole in her bra. I would consider that footage that was cut.
Do they extend the toilet?
It's a longer scene of him dragging her body and washing his hands. So yeah, I mean, I would assume this for the time. That's stuff that was probably cut for ratings.
I would have laughed though, man, because Psycho's known as the first American film to have a toilet flushing in it.
Yeah.
If it was just a longer scene with the toilet flushing.
Yeah. Norman washing the blood off his hands. So I mean, technically, even the kill with the top view kill of the guy falling down the steps, that's
Spectre.
a little bit longer.
Huh.
So
Hard to guess, yeah.
technically, I guess it's the uncut version. Interesting. Anyway, that's news. I'm not buying it.
I'm not buying it either.
Unless that fucking Bates Motel looks real good. No.
I'm not importing from Germany, I'm just saying.
Racist.
All right. That's the news.
Fucking thing sucks!
Oh, yeah. Getting into some box office Brawl recap. So who wants to let me know who I won this week? Who I won? If I won.
You did win.
What was it, Jeremy?
Overlord made 10,100,000.
Wow. Is that
Which
shocking?
It's yes. It's
Yeah.
well, I
No.
wouldn't say shocking, but it's disappointing for sure. So,
Yeah.
Moods versus Me, which is JP. It is now 15-15. Whew. This is really coming down to the wire. That was my opportunity to pull ahead. Me versus Jeremy. I actually win, which that one's 21-12 now. And then Moods actually pulls ahead versus Jeremy.
Yeah, so we only have
So-
1 week left, so we could end in a tie.
Yeah, which in that case, neither of you would have to buy either of you anything.
Push.
So what is the last one, anyways?
That Possession
that
film.
Possession. I fucking keep forgetting about that. I still can't believe
Possession
that's
of
getting
Hannah Grace.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Yeah.
not till when?
November 30th.
So that'll be next week then, or the week after. We'll do.
Mhm.
I can't believe there's nothing.
That looks like
in
a
December.
future. That looks like a future Hall of Painter.
Dude, that's brutal, man. So what's gonna happen here is Jeremy and Moods could tie. I already beat Jeremy. I told him that I want. What did I want from you? Land of the Dead Blu-ray.
Yeah, Land of the Dead.
Moods versus Me is gonna come down to that, and then Moods is either gonna win something off of Jeremy, or they're gonna tie and not win any. Nobody's gonna get anything.
So I potentially could get 2 Blu-rays out of it.
Two Blu-rays, and I could potentially get one in 01, or
You
Yeah.
get
get two.
Oh, and it's such a.
Jeremy is giving two no matter what. Probably
It's not even an exciting
you,
film.
Warner.
It's not even an exciting film at all.
I don't even know what it is. I haven't even looked at it yet.
Is
So
it just
I'm
me,
gonna
or
have
is
to
it
look at
weird that there's like no like? It'd be so cool if there was like a theatrical Christmas related horror film this year. That would be fucking awesome.
Dude, there hasn't been one since Krampus,
It's crazy.
Yeah,
and before that, there hasn't been one since. Black Xmas.
wasn't Art House Artsploitation releasing one? Are you talking about theatrical Christmas?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of Christmas related horror films that come out every year, but not
Yeah,
theatrical.
no,
like-
I just went to Walmart and it's like there's two new Krampus.
Yeah,
movies.
there's 2 new Krampus. I know.
Yeah, like Better Watch Out, and that Red Christmas one came out last year.
Yeah. There's a
Better
bunch
Watch
of
Out
this year.
is like the best Christmas horror film in a long time.
It was solid.
Mhm.
It was cool,
I
man.
love- Anyway.
Yeah, I need to pick that up. Actually, I need to pick up.
You like that better than Krampus?
Oh yeah. No, I love Better Watch Out.
Yeah,
Like-
Better Watch Out is great, but it has like that thing where you could the twist isn't going to be as effective.
It's not, but it's still like damn fun. Like I watched it 3 times last year, man. That's like the only movie I've ever watched like 3 times in 1 year and forever.
That fucking paint can scene, man. That shit's amazing.
I think what did I have? I had it made my top 10, but where did it make it? Number 7. Honestly, dude, like I'm not even gonna lie. If I redid that list, it would be like number 3 or 4.
Crazy.
I liked it more. I like it more than it. I like it more than Black Coats, and I like it more than Brawl. Those are the 3 films ahead of it.
Huh. Wow. Like it more than it. Yeah, but that makes sense though. You have a severe hard on for the first one.
The first It?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the superior version of it. If I'm gonna like one of the It's, I would like the superior version. Am I right? Like, let's say you were watching Carrie and you're like, should I watch the superior version or the other 2 that are less superior, the inferior versions? You would pick the superior version, right?
I'm gonna judge this when it's once we get to the adult version, second half of the film. I'll compare it as like a whole versus a whole.
There you go.
Honestly, it is hard for me to compare right now because the original It is like the full story. We have half the film right now. I think it's actually kind of unfair to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a little bit
Yeah,
because
in a way.
because the thing is, though, man, like a lot of people don't care for the adult part of the original It film, where I actually really do because I was a huge John Ritter fan, and I like
but
that casting.
that's a huge factor, right? Because if it by itself was only the first, if you cut the original miniseries to one part, I think it would be more on par in people's opinions with the new one. Because people love the kid part in the original one, but don't like the adult part much.
Yeah.
So it's like, we kind of need to wait to see what happens with the other part to truly compare them.
I think it's a fair.
With you on,
Yeah,
with you on
I think
that.
it's fair to do. So,
But that's kind of, so like, I can't, that's next year, man. I can't wait till we do our top 10 show because there's actually quite a few films I'm looking forward to in 2019. So that'll be fun to, because we always talk about what
I haven't
we're looking
really looked into 19 yet because I'm still trying to figure out what the hell to watch for 18 so I can make up this damn list.
Well, you have It. You have The Devil's Rejects 2. Those are huge, right?
That is true. That is true.
Happy Death Day to You.
What's that? The Devil's Rejects 2, isn't it? 3 from Hell?
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the second part of it.
So, anyway,
There's a few. But yeah, so
one film that came out in 2018 that you should be looking forward to is Overlord. And that's the film we just talked about with Box Office Brawl. But me and Jeremy wanted to give our brief opinions, right, Jeremy?
Right.
So what did you think of it? Is that Moods or Jeremy? I can't tell.
No, that's not me. I think
why would he start
That was
snoring
like
at his
the
own
tone of
review?
Jeremy move.
I know. That's why I did it. I'm like fucking sleeping over here.
I liked it a lot. I thought it was fucking awesome. It's war horror, which doesn't get much love, mainly because it's fucking expensive to do. But it's cool to see.
Exactly. Good point.
It is a good point because it's a
Well, I've-
period piece. It's massive.
Yeah.
Hell
So it's
yeah.
kind of cool to see a studio fucking throw $38 million into a movie that they probably know isn't going to make its money back. And the results are a huge budget, bloody gore fest of a throwback. It has a throwback B-type movie feel to it. And it's really, really good. It's practically 90% of it is practical effects. And the CG, I mean, it's a little noticeable, but it's fine. It does its purpose.
But what is
And-
the CG in it though?
Just
It's like a lot of it I think is
like gunshots and
veins
stuff.
and
Oh, they CG gunshots. See, there's two
No,
things.
see,
that-
I don't think I.
There's
I mean,
two
I don't know,
things-
like partially.
not like
you can't. It's not CG like gunshots. Like you can
Yeah.
tell it's CG gunshots. It's just probably like.
I always have a
practicals
major
with,
problem with
CG
that.
out.
You know, you
No,
watch,
you won't. You won't. You won't.
when you watch films with like, you know, they're again, you know, 90% practical effects, and then the 10% of CG is like blood splatter. And you're like, what the fuck?
It's
Like,
not that.
I hate that.
And it's
You
so
won't,
fast,
you wouldn't,
you can barely
there
fucking
probably
see
is CG on the blood, but you can't tell.
Yeah.
But
You barely notice
it's
it.
mainly like body contortion stuff
Mm-hmm.
that I saw. But so this film is pretty cool because it follows the 101st Airborne as they are in France, and their goal is to drop in and take over a Nazi-controlled radio control tower in order to wipe it out so that it can allow air support to their team that's going to be infiltrating on the ground in another area. And basically they get shot down, and there's only a few survivors, a handful of survivors. They go into this French countryside occupied by Nazis, and they get help from a woman, which is a little cliche, honestly, but
Why?
and
Because
they
she's a
have to-
woman?
well, no, it's just they get help from a French person who's anti-Nazi. It just seems like what you would do in a
All right,
film.
French
like that.
people are always nice. Look at me.
Well, they actually, there's some. I love the historical accuracy that they have.
That's because Derek, you got more French Canadian in you, not European French.
Well,
Yeah, that's
one
true.
thing I like about this film is it has a lot of historical accuracies with like the weapons and stuff, but also they mention, one of the characters mentions that like he speaks French, and they're like, your French sounds different than mine, and it's like, yeah, that's because my French is like from like Louisiana French, like how that came about. You know how a lot of French people settled in Louisiana and stuff like that. I like that stuff.
Like Cajun.
And
Yeah, exactly.
And so they basically have to get into this radio tower, but in this radio tower, underneath this radio tower, is actually a laboratory where they're doing Nazi experiments on the dead and the living, and you know, the nasty Nazi stuff that was true.
Do they have an Ilsa character there?
They do not.
No, that's actually one thing. There's only
two females.
2 females.
3 females.
Well, that's a shame. That's a shame. I like those little shadows to
during the
Ilsa.
time.
Big titties and blondes. Oh,
Yeah,
No, it's not that kind of movie. It's a serious.
It's very
film.
serious. It's I think that the strength of it is, my God, the opening 20 minutes, the visuals in it is just stunning.
That's why
Like,
you got to watch it on IMAX. 'Cause it's fucking
and
awesome.
The fog and just the background, it's haunting. It's great. You know, I love the opening to it.
Jeremy, honestly, how many people can actually watch IMAX? I mean, there's such a low percentage of people that have access to watching a film in IMAX.
I don't know. There's a lot of them now.
But they're mostly in mid. I mean, most people don't live in big cities. There's a lot of fucking small areas.
Yeah, that's why he always says, I want to see the film in the best way possible. I'm always like, I want to see the film in the most intended way possible, which is probably just in the theater.
Yeah, that's
I did
how
see it
most
in the
people are going to be able to see it.
No, but
Most
I mean,
people
just
saw it on
don't have access.
Directors don't make movies intending for people to be like, I'm going to design this as if you were watching on IMAX.
Yes, he does. His name's Christopher Nolan.
I mean, if I was taking your shit to heart, man, I'd be
yeah.
like, fuck, dude, I got to travel 8 hours down to Vancouver to go watch a shit in IMAX. Fuck that, man. That's an expensive trip.
That's the strength of the movie. I think where it gets its biggest weakness is its clichéness. The lead character is very morally strong, oh, we can't do this because of this, we can't do this because of this, and it's like, dude, shut up, you're in war, listen to your fucking superior.
Is the main character white?
Black. Actually.
Oh, that makes sense then.
The main character is black, which is interesting.
I'm keeping my mouth shut on that one.
But no, it's I don't like how he's constantly going against his sergeant and who's in charge. It doesn't make sense for reality because you have to listen to that person. There's a scene where they're trying to beat a Nazi to get information out of him, and of course our lead character has to have this moral high ground where he's like, no, you can't do this, and it just rubs me the wrong way that it happens so much throughout the film.
Yeah,
we get it, dude. We get it.
How about nobody seeing it?
It was
when he
being
entering
too
the
politically
base?
correct, almost too politically correct.
It's not politically
No.
correct. It's just about being a better person. You know what I mean?
Overly morally correct.
Yes, overly morally correct. Yeah, he constantly risks the entire mission because of moral turmoil decisions throughout the entire film, and it pays off. But it doesn't. It's times two because it's like, okay, well, yeah, you may have got done the right thing here, but 2 people died. Gee, thanks, buddy. You know what I mean? 2 of your fellow soldiers died. Why? Stop doing this. You know what I mean? And that stuff always bothers me in war films. But it's okay. I could get past it because it's still a very entertaining movie. I wish they would have spent more time and made the Nazi lab more, almost over the top in a way.
Because
more scary. More
you would think the doctor
More
would be a prominent.
You
would think
more
the doctor
His army.
Nobody
Yeah.
fucking listens to me.
Well, we were talking, so
I heard you, Jeremy. What were you saying?
you were trying to cut in.
Jeremy, what'd you
Jeremy's
say?
the only guy that gets mad that people aren't listening to him when he's trying to interrupt them. You know what I mean?
Because you don't give me a chance to say anything.
You get a
just
chance
keep
when
talking.
everybody stops talking.
But
you don't
you
get a
don't
chance
stop
more
talking.
the
You just
time
keep
they
going.
talk.
You just keep going.
But that's not true. Listen back. I noticed
people have
all the
said
time.
it in the past.
People have said it. No, it's because you're trying to interrupt. You don't know how to properly partake in a conversation. When Mood stops talking, that's when I go. Whenever I stop talking, that's when he goes. Whenever we're talking, that's when you go. You get what I'm saying? So what were you saying though?
No, keep going. Finish your conversation.
No, you have to make your point
That was
now.
the finish of the conversation though.
Jeremy, you got to make your point now.
Come on, Jeremy. Take your point, man.
I just think you don't see the fucking evil doctor enough.
Yeah, I agree. Like that stuff, I almost wanted it to push the horror a little bit more because I feel like they leave the realism of the war. They have it there, but I think with the moral high ground of this character, it kind of makes it seem like a little bit of a movie, you know, a drama. And so I'm like, let's go into the
more fantasy, you mean?
Let's fully go into that a little bit more. Let's make the Nazis even more evil. Let's make them even I want to see a collage of their experiments down in that basement.
So
don't just show a little hint of it. What's up?
So when you don't see the doctor, is he very over the top or is he subtle in his
he's just a doctor. Like you see him, he's just not a main villain.
I think it would have worked better since you were saying they don't show him a lot in the movie. Maybe if he was a little bit more over the top, it would make that more easier to follow, kind of like Frankenstein's Army. When you don't really get to see the doctor.
I keep referencing it, but I've never seen it.
Oh, you never seen Frankenstein? It's awesome. The doctor is so over the top at the end.
I don't want
this movie.
I don't want over the top. I don't want over the top. I just want a little bit closer to the top, not over it.
You should check it out, JP. It actually has some good practical effects.
Yeah, no, I've heard good things, but I don't want it over the top. I just want it closer to where the top is without going over. I want it.
Yeah, I agree.
But it is a horror. It's definitely a horror film. I can't imagine somebody being like, "This isn't a horror film." It's definitely a horror film. There's some good moments in it. Likeable characters besides the lead. That's the problem. Everybody was likable besides the Nazis and the lead. Did you have an issue with the lead, Jeremy?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess he just did whatever he wanted without really listening to whatever everybody else was telling him what to do.
Because he
just did his own thing.
Yeah, which is a problem when it's literally your officer who's outranking you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How was Kurt's son?
But he did say he was a newspaper guy, and then a week later he was in the army, so maybe he just didn't have.
That is a fair point. I think Carly might have brought that up. Yeah, he didn't want to be there, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or is it because he was black?
Oh my God, Moods, you already said that. We know.
No,
but no, seriously, was that a problem though?
No, there was. I don't even think they get racist.
There was more black guys.
Yeah, there was actually a few other black guys. They died though.
Yeah, one got blown up to shit.
Yeah.
Talking about a cookbook he was going to write.
That guy was white. Huh. Oh, no, you're right.
Who was Wyatt Russell play in the movie?
Who?
Kurt Russell's son.
He's the commander.
Yeah, he's
Kurt
good.
Russell's son.
I like him.
Yeah, he was
really?
Good.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a good movie, dude.
Oh, yeah,
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was...
Who birthed that? Is that Kurt Russell's...
Problem?
Is that Goldie Hawn's son? Or is it...
Yeah, it's Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell's kid.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Even the minor problems I have with the lead, it's a great movie. I wish the zombie the monsters are.
You don't see them that much.
Though. It's very generic. We've seen it before. Nothing different. But it's kind of cool seeing it in a big budget movie because it does feel big budgeted.
Yeah.
I came in at an 8.5 out of 10 on it.
Me too. 8.5.
Oh, I'll check it. I'll check it out next week. Look at it.
It's definitely a film you want to see in a theater.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I just didn't have the money this week because we just bought a dog.
Because you had to pay Moods to review more films that you sent him, right?
Exactly.
Maybe.
I get it, man. I'm a fucking douche. Why don't you just say it? Come on.
Douche.
Are you salt and vinegar flavored?
Oh,
or
Jeremy, stop being so damn jealous.
Or
man.
Hawaiian blend flavor? No, because I used to work in the feminine section of CVS, so I know they had different scented douches.
Oh, you're actually talking about douches. Crazy.
Yeah, I used to throw them at people. We were fucking around at work.
I thought it was just vinegar. Fuck.
It's vinegar.
Oh, there's scented ones. Yeah, there's a Hawaiian blend. There's a Hawaiian blend one.
Nice. Unfortunately, man, I don't think we're even gonna get Overlord. So.
Yeah, you got a Bollywood Sand People movie instead.
Well, you're definitely not getting it after it kind of didn't make that much money.
Yeah, it's really weird. How do I get a Bollywood film and not Overlord? Explain that to me.
You got a Sand People Bollywood movie? What is it?
Yeah, he got a Sand People movie.
Like the Star Wars 10 people?
I don't even know what
come
it's.
on.
I don't know what it's
That's
called.
racist.
I don't know what it's called, but
Moots calls them Sand People.
You know what we haven't did in
I
a while?
don't.
We haven't did one of those live watches.
I'm friends with
Jeremy.
lots of
we
brown
should do that
people.
again.
I don't call them. That's just rude. That's rude.
I want to do one on my Facebook group too, like the live watches.
Yeah.
You guys do those?
No, I want to.
The live on Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it. How do they get the movie to play?
I don't know. You might have to ask Brian, because I know
Yeah,
Brian from ABC's did it. I gotta talk to him about that too.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, you
So
guys.
that was it. Yep.
You guys are done with your Overlord review, so we can rejoin the show. Is that cool?
We're back, Moods.
Is that cool with you guys?
You guys did participate in that review. I'm just saying.
We did. We did.
Yes.
We're just fucking around with you guys. We love yous.
Coolio.
All right, cool. Jeremy, do we got dead mail?
No.
Okay, we're not going to be doing dead mail. Well, then fuck it.
And now, our feature presentation.
Let's just move along into the meat and potatoes of the show. Let's get into the featured reviews here on episode 147.
What kind of meat and potatoes is that? Just out of curiosity.
Like turtle and monkey, or
I would say turtle and monkey, and
I was gonna say human, but I'm not sure.
yeah, humans.
Muskrat.
That was a
Muskrat?
muskrat was it? Yeah, a lot of meat was eaten in that film. So, but yeah, so let's get into the feature reviews. Of course, for episode 147, which is Ruggero Deodato, and I'm gonna say probably volume 1.
Whoa, that's committed. Well, yeah, definitely volume 1 because I'm not letting it go until we cover.
Well, there's definitely another really good show, and that's the reason why I'm saying that. There's definitely I purposely left off the film that JP wanted to do just to piss him right off. So,
like I really liked it the one time I watched it, and I wanted to revisit it.
haven't you watched it again since that? Because
No, I did just buy the Blu-ray though. It's in a double feature with something.
Yep, it's in the double feature with Last House on Massacre Street,
which I actually just reviewed. I reviewed that one. Yeah, it's got a couple separate Blu-ray releases. But anyways, yeah, Ruggero Deodato, man.
One of my favorite cover arts of all time, which is not on that release, by the way, that I just picked up. The original cover art to it, dude. It's so good with the skull face and the sky and shit and the house and man, dude, that is just some great artwork. I want to post that.
I agree, man. That shit's awesome.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, the infamous Ruggero Deodato, man. But we're gonna start with his a film kind of in the middle of his career from 1980. The infamous Cannibal Holocaust.
The infamous.
I just pictured the theme playing just now.
It really is infamous because this is the movie that is like single-handedly responsible for the video nasty craze in the UK. This is the movie.
Yeah.
That set off an entire fucking just craziness. And it literally is like craziness. Like the UK was going batshit nuts over these films that were getting banned and stuff, and it's solely because of Cannibal Holocaust. I mean, it got so fucking bad for Ruggero Deodato that he spent time in jail over this movie.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy when you think about it. You know, everybody knows this story, but it really is crazy.
Yeah.
So the film came out, and obviously it's using the gimmick like Blair Witch did, but way before Blair Witch, of that it's real. And what you're seeing, the footage in the film, is actual footage of what happened.
Yeah.
And he was arrested because, like, hey, like, you killed these people in your movie, like, what the fuck, dude? And he's like, no, I didn't. You know?
It's crazy.
It would be funny if it just for a couple weeks he was like, didn't say anything.
But he didn't have to, though, man. He spent the time in jail regardless of it, so...
Yeah, because you have to until it goes to trial. Or they probably had bail.
Just
But
insane. Just insane.
the fact that he spent a second in jail is
and actually had to
crazy.
prove that, like, he had to find these actors and stuff, and they had to be like, hey guys, they're living and breathing.
Yeah, he had to show how the effects was done. I think one of the big ones was the girl impaled. Like, it's a small scene. It's just you just see this woman impaled on a giant stake.
Yep, that's the most famous one. That's what's on the cover.
You know, to this day, that shit still looks unbelievably fucking amazing.
It looks so great.
It does look. I mean, even for 1980 effects, and you got to remember, this was a low budget film. The studio didn't give Deodato a lot of money to do the film. The effects are amazing. Like, that shit is truly disturbing to me.
It's fucked.
It's crazy, like, how good it looks. It's unbelievable. But but anyways, Cannibal Holocaust from 1980. Synopsis. During a rescue mission into the Amazon rainforest, a professor stumbles across lost film shot by the missing documentary crew. That's not really a great synopsis at all. So, yeah, at all.
You know what, though? So, this movie I don't think it gets a lot of credit, obviously, it doesn't get a lot of credit in general, unless you're talking to people who, like, love it. You know what I mean? But
the found footage film.
I think it gets the credit for being...
Is it the first?
It is. It is the very first of its kind.
Yeah.
Hands down. This idea, I don't think it had ever been explored as, promoting a film and shooting. I mean, this whole found footage style.
But I mean, even like found footage in its purest sense, not necessarily footage that was found, but the technique of found footage, the characters.
Well, technically, this is kind of the definition of found footage, because they literally had found the footage.
I know what the definition, but I'm saying I'm not talking about that though. I'm talking about the technique of the characters filming the movie.
Yeah,
is this the first one to ever do that?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was explored before this. I mean, you got to think this is 1980. I mean, they weren't.
Yeah.
I mean, I bet you there's something, but we just
maybe we don't know about it. I always consider this, because I've actually tried to do research on this, and I can't seem to find anything that was on this level of filmmaking.
Yeah,
and I think that's one thing about this movie that I think
it's not really found footage to the final act.
Yeah, because they're
no. I mean, there's a lot of footage that you're seeing.
Technically,
that's what I was saying. It doesn't get a lot of credit for actually how the story's told, because you're cutting back and forth at times from the actual footage of the characters in the movie.
Well, the whole movie is found. I mean, technically, all the footage you're seeing of these four filmmakers is the footage that we're seeing. That's the found footage.
Yeah, but there's still like a third of the film where the guy's going to find or 2/3 of the film where the guy's going to find the footage. That's not found footage. That's shot like a normal movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think the movie really gets credit for interweaving it like that.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool.
It's done very well. For sure it is. I agree. But, yeah, man. Where do we even start with Cannibal Holocaust, man? It's just...
Well, let's start with the biggest negative about the whole movie. Let's just start there.
The final act.
My biggest problem with this movie...
What?
I don't like the final act because it's just a fucking cannibal movie at that point, and I don't like cannibal films. I like the first 2/3 of the film when the guy's trying to find the footage. I think it's hella interesting. And
but are you missing
parts of the movie?
But are you missing the whole point of the entire movie? It's not. This movie isn't.
I know these people are fucking horrible people.
It's not just a cannibal film.
This is.
Ruggero
Deodato is trying to say that, I mean, this is, their way of life and stuff. And when you invade, and
according to Ruggero Deodato, he's not trying to say any of that. He was just saying, I just want to make a cannibal movie. Did you know that?
I think it's
he's never took credit for all the like subtext and like the certain commentary.
I just have a hard time. I have a hard time believing that though, because it's pretty damn evident what he's doing.
Well, that's my argument.
Because as these filmmakers in the film, they're totally trying to. They even talk about it in dialogue in the film, like, "Hey, man, if we film this, man, we can get super rich. This is gonna be super shocking to the rest of the world if we get this footage out there." And their point is of filming and doing what they're doing, exploiting these native people, is for the sole purpose of gaining money and fame. It's an exploitation film at its fucking core, and they're terrible people. It's white people. I mean, what I figure he's trying to say is that you know, when somebody doesn't understand somebody from another culture, it creates wars and it creates, I mean, look at religion, man. I mean, it's created every fucking war we've ever had, ever, you know, because people don't understand things, so they fight about it. And I
just think it's like go ahead. I cut you off.
Yeah, and well, it's like a shortened version of it, right? It's like these white people go in there, they know they can exploit the shit out of this, but the kickback is that if you go in and do this shit to these indigenous people and stuff, they're gonna fucking fight back, and all of a sudden they seem like the savages. It's not.
Yeah, but no, the entire point of the film is who's really the savages. Like that's
my point.
Is it the savages or are we the savages? That's the whole point. But I get what you're saying. I believe that that's what he was saying. But that's what I like about the idea that it doesn't matter what the filmmaker says because art is interpreted by you. And honestly, like if the filmmaker completely goes against what you're saying, that doesn't necessarily mean that it isn't true.
Yeah.
Because they can lie. They're humans too. They can change how they feel. They can not be truthful. It's whatever. It's up for interpretation. It's your interpretation.
Well, that's the beauty of art, man. Like it's like, you know, you take Cannibal Holocaust as a film and I interpret it like exactly how I explained. It's basically it's an exploitation film with these white people, blah blah blah. It's like looking at abstract art. My interpretation of what I see is completely different of someone else's and shit. I mean, Ruggero Deodato may have subconsciously not been meaning to do this, but I think he did.
Yeah,
you know, like
or he could just be coy too and just not.
Except maybe he doesn't.
It's just interesting what you see in the first 2/3 of the act of the film. It's like, oh, this is what happens when you treat these people with respect and
this is what happens when you fucking.
They don't look as bad. Yeah, they don't look as bad as what they seem to be just because you don't understand their culture. And this is what happens when you treat them like shit and you rape their fucking tribeswomen and fucking.
Well, they show the contrast.
Villages, though.
They show the contrast in the film perfectly with Robert Kerman's character, you know, the professor, which is actually the porn star from Debbie Does
Dallas.
He's
a porn star.
Yeah, no shit, he fucking shows his cock. What do you expect?
Well, he was a porn star right through this. Like, he was right through the 80s, everything. He was the guy that stars in Debbie Does Dallas. It's crazy. Yeah. But
which guy was he in Debbie Does Dallas?
I don't remember. I only watched 30 seconds of it and I was done. So
okay. Okay, so let me just talk about my biggest negative to this film, okay? Because it really bugs me. I don't get it, man. I don't get what it just doesn't feel natural the way that these filmmakers are. Like, what is their goal here? Like, do they think they're gonna actually be able to sell this film? Like, nobody's gonna be like, dude, you just like committed like mad atrocities. Like, nobody's gonna watch this. Like, you're gonna be arrested. Like, I don't get what their mindset.
I think what their point is that what we're seeing kind of the raw footage of what they're doing. So they're gonna try and sell it as they're the victims. Right, they're the ones that.
But they don't say that ever. They don't like that. No, that's something that I think.
But they kind of do. But they kind of do. It is implied because they talk about, oh, we're going to film all this. We're going to, you know, they don't necessarily say straightforward like, hey, we're going to get them going. We're going to get them to do all this fucked up shit, and we're going to make them look shit. But that's what they're implying, and that's what they're doing to these people.
But where do they say that at though? What do they say
when they're viewing the other film that they did, The Long Road to Hell? The woman implies that. They paid soldiers off to kill. The stage.
That's one of the examples that what they did was for why they did it. You know, so they're doing the same thing here. They're doing the exact same thing here.
I just think they went a little overboard with it. Like the film, like Ruggero Deodato went a little bit overboard with like trying to prove that these characters are villains because it just feels fake. It feels unrealistic. Like I can't buy that people would be this much of like pieces of shit. You know what I mean?
But I disagree though, because I think that when you are out there, you put yourself into an extreme situation like that. I mean, we're not talking about dealing with the cannibals straight on or the indigenous people. I don't even want to call them cannibals because, you know, that's brutal. But the indigenous people, the tribes, when you put yourself in that situation, man, you're dealing with, you know, the fucking, all the other factors. You know, you're putting your life at risk just being in the jungle and shit. These guys are going for damn gold, right? If you're going to put yourself out there, they're all about making that fucking money.
So it's like knocking down the rainforest.
It just doesn't seem like it would be, like,
right? Like, I would never go out there and half-ass it, man. If I have a goal, I'm going to fucking do it right.
But look, dude, you got to put yourself in their position, right?
Well, that's what I did.
What? So you're thinking there's a rationale where you could be like, we're gonna go way out into the Amazon, film tribe people, like rape them, kill them, do all this bad stuff to them, and that's your big money making scheme? It just seems ridiculous. It seems like isn't there an easier way? Like, couldn't you just go to like not that far in the jungle and do the same thing to people? You know what I mean? Like, it seems like,
but they want to explore a world that's never been seen before at this point in
okay,
time.
and I get like if they were true filmmakers, like we want to go in here and then, we're kind of douches about everything, and then that's when they get it flipped on them. But you're saying that their sole thing here is to do all this like bad stuff and edit it in a way to make money off of it. That seems like the integrity of like, I want to explore somewhere, uncharted. It wouldn't even matter at that point.
Yeah, they want their documentary to be actiony too. That's
well, it was about
documentary.
But it was a point. But the point was to exploit these indigenous primitive cannibals, and they can only be found in the Amazon. That's the only place known to in this world that they live in.
Yeah, but that's two different things, though. What do we want to document these cannibals, or do we want to exploit this like people and
they wanted to
rape them and stuff? Like, I don't. But it's just like like how is raping them exploiting that? It's just like weird, man.
But that's the way.
That
was the way of getting them going.
Well, to be honest, that's even how the character Faye reacts to the situation too when they are raping the indigenous girl, because she's not fucking down with it at all. Because she's like, "Why are you wasting the film on this bullshit?"
It's the main guy, Mark. He's the lead filmmaker, and he's the guy that's like going to these extreme levels.
I'm just like, well, how would you even use that footage? Like, what are you going to do with that footage?
They wouldn't. They would cut it out.
So why are they filming?
They're going to show the ladies.
Well, that's why they're filming everything, because they want to get them going. They want to see some fucking action and shit, and then that's the exploitation.
Doesn't it just seem a little too like, dude? Doesn't it just seem like?
Of course, it seems insane.
Like, as a person, wouldn't you be like, man, this is probably going to get us killed? Like, they never seem worried that they're going to die until it's too late.
Well, let's face it, man. These guys.
What was the point of killing the turtle? Like, what was the point?
But
they said that to eat.
The point is that the filmmaker wants to show that these characters are bad, but I think he overdid it. But Jeremy, I think it just doesn't feel natural with that.
They literally show them eating the turtle right after they kill it. It was.
I understand that, but
are you talking about what's the point of the filmmaker killing the turtle or the characters?
No, it's a call.
Well, Deodato had nothing to do with
that. Happens with.
But that's my biggest problem, and I don't think I'll be able to get over it, because you guys can accept it. I can't. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. It's problematic.
You know what, man?
There's definitely a disconnect there with what would really happen and what is in this movie.
But how would you know if that would happen if you weren't in the situation?
Yeah, because it's not rational. It doesn't make sense for these people. But it doesn't
have to be rational. Even being there, even going to the Amazon with the idea of doing what they're doing is not rational. It's insane. First of all, like I said before, you're putting yourself in a position to die. Regardless, I wouldn't go to the Amazon with no plan of doing any exploitation.
It's the carelessness of it, though, dude. Like, they don't even seem like they care. Like, it seems fake. That's the only way to put it. It seems fake.
I totally disagree. I think Mark is completely genuine and he's so set on being rich and famous. I mean, they show the footage of what they did in that other country.
It doesn't make sense. How is he going to be rich and famous from raping women? And it just doesn't. I don't understand how they're going to use this fucking footage, man.
Yeah, I can see what JP's coming from.
But no, it's the same. But they show you in the film. But they show you in the film. But they show you in the film, like. Remember when they show that footage of, all those people getting executed and shit like that, and
like, were they going to edit it before they gave it to them? I think that's like the only.
Yeah, I mean,
of course they were, Jeremy. But of course they were going to edit it. It doesn't
make sense. The footage that they're shooting, it just doesn't. Like, burning down their camp is. How are you going to edit that into? Like, what is it? It just doesn't make sense.
But it does. I mean, it's just. I mean, you film. There's always a way of around editing, man.
You're going to show them running away from the can and burn it.
Thank you, Mr. Robot.
What is that gonna? What are they gonna say? Like, what part of the documentary is that gonna be?
Dude, I don't fucking know. I mean,
But that's
I don't know.
He
what
makes
the
a
little,
good point.
It's like what it feels like.
But
They're
they
just
show
the
you- but they
filmmakers
show
putting
you in the
is
film.
an emphasis on them being douchebags, but it doesn't make sense for the story. Is my problem.
But they literally. I mean, how they set up everything in the third act is by what they show that footage from that other country. Where I think it was in Africa when they were doing, or maybe it was. I don't know. But with all that, all that shit that they staged there, and remember, they tell them, they're like, oh, that shit's all staged. Like they fucking totally came up with that shit. That's what they're telling us right now.
But if
It's
you're
exactly
going
what they're going to
to
be
stage that
doing.
much of it, why even go there? Why not just stage the whole fucking thing? Why go that deep into the jungle? Go to another
Because it's
tribe.
authentic, man.
But it's not authentic because they're not being authentic. They clearly don't care about authenticity if they're faking everything that they're going to be showing in the documentary.
No.
Got a point.
It's true, dude.
He does have a point.
And listen, this is not a major. We're getting into it like it's a major thing. It only takes like a half point off
How is
for me.
going into the middle of the Amazon not authentic and exploiting
It
a
is
fucking
authentic,
truck?
but why?
You can't get any more
if-
authentic.
But they don't
than
care
that.
about authentic.
If what
They
they're
just care
doing is their entire basis of their project, the only thing that's authentic is they are in the Amazon.
No, they're getting the authentic. They're
Amazon.
getting the authentic fucking reactions of these people and shit like that. That's what they're
But
filming.
you can get authentic reactions of any tribe, and just say that it's them. Who would know? Who would know if this is an undocumented tribe? I'm saying if they're faking everything else, what the fuck sense does it make to go tons of miles into the Amazon where it's dangerous to get the authentic?
There still was a point.
That's
of them
a major plot hole.
No, there still was a point of them investigating the plausibility of real cannibalism too. That was
But that
the
is
thing.
completely thrown out the window through the entire movie. You never get a hint that actually matters to these people.
Well, because
You
it's,
just
it's
don't-
mentioned in the beginning of the film, and that's
But
That's what
these
it is.
people don't act like they care at all about the art of the film, the importance of the documentary. Like none of it is even on their radar at all.
Yeah,
Once
but
they're-
neither
because
did
it
the
showcased that these guys are
But neither did
these
the
guys are
TV
exploiters.
executives.
They're exploiters, man. That's what they did when they staged that fucking footage before, and when they
Come
go into
on,
there,
dude,
they're
you
just
gotta
straight
admit
up
what I'm saying
exploiting.
makes a little bit of sense, dude. Why would
I
they
think
care
it
about
makes sense.
authenticity?
Then, Jeremy,
if
explain
they are
yourself then.
Faking everything in the
What
movie.
makes sense?
I just think that why are they going through all these heartaches of fucking staging to make this look like it's real? Like, why do they spend all that time and effort knowing that they could possibly die by going to this Amazon jungle when they could
Deep
just
in
go?
the end,
They could just go to somewhere else and fucking shoot the same thing with random
Fake.
people.
yeah, because
Fake,
they're
because they don't
faking
care.
everything
They
anyway.
clearly don't
Because
care
there
about
was
it
a
being
point.
real.
No, because there was a point in the beginning of it to
But
to
you
find out
can't
about
say
these real
there is
cannibalists.
a point
You can't
when
just go
none of the
anywhere.
characters act as if there is a point later. Like just because they say there's a point, like, hey, we want to document this people. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense to their characters. There's a gap there with what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. The characters could say that at the beginning, but none of their actions represent what they said. None of them. And that's my biggest problem with the film is if it was about a group of filmmakers who wanted to document these people and maybe wanted to fudge the situation a little bit and make it more exciting or get better footage, that would be fine. But I'm saying they go to the extremes of it to where it's like you can't even take seriously that they wanted to make a documentary because they're not doing anything at all that resembles that. And if you know how dangerous it is to go in there, why are they so like nonchalant about it? You said it yourself. You would never do that. So why are they so not like they never look like as if they are in fear for their life until the final minutes? It seems like, dude, any person ever would be like, okay, this will get you killed. This will get you killed. Go in there fucking with it, like burning people's
Dude,
you're gonna die.
they talk about Mark being fucking insanely focused and insane in general in the film. Like, this guy doesn't give a fuck, man. He wants to get the
Alan.
real shit. He wants to make it look authentic as fucking possible. And that's what the focus is for him. Maybe not her. Maybe not Faye. Because
I feel
she
like
quit.
they all suck.
I think
No,
Faye
I
was
think
the
the
only
girl's,
one.
like, the only good
I think
character.
Faye is the only one in the third act that is like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, Mark, you actually are in fucking sane. And the other guys are going through with what they, what it's come to.
That they would do, yeah.
Well, it's always an act with them because that's what the studio wants too. Because even the studio is going to release it anyways before they saw the final reel. So they're the blame too. You know what I mean? It's not.
Well,
and
what
they show that shit. Like I said,
makes
in the
sense,
scene,
though. That makes sense for the story, for the studio to be like, oh, like we have this footage, like we can monetize this, but it doesn't make sense for me for what the reasons that I gave with the filmmakers. There's a difference there.
Well, they're just looking at for ratings too, JP, because that's what the ratings.
No. You're not listening to me. That makes sense. I'm saying that makes sense.
No, I'm talking about the actual documentary they were going to shoot with all the shock shit.
Yeah. No, I get, like, that's where you guys are losing me. I get that that's what they're doing, but I'm saying it doesn't make sense for them to go that deep into the Amazon because, but you say, oh yeah, it does totally because they want to be authentic. But it's like nothing they're doing is authentic. So how does that make sense?
Well, you got, yeah, I get that, man. But I mean, there was a focus point of the cannibals in general. You can only go to that part of the world.
But why is there a focus point?
Well, to be honest,
because it was a myth.
Everything else.
Because it was a fucking myth. And I mean, if you want to make something true and authentic, man, you go to
They don't want to make something true and authentic because they're faking everything.
Well, to be honest, too,
yeah, but we're not going to see the end product of that, though. We're not going to see the end product of that.
The end product.
What do you mean? Yeah, what do you mean?
So if their documentary ever got made, say in Cannibal Holocaust, we would have just seen the product of these cannibals going fucking insane. And
I know, but you're saying that
they didn't shoot any footage to show them to go insane. If you want
to go somewhere and make it authentic, but my argument is that the characters don't want to.
Well, you got to remember, 2 reels were damaged and they couldn't be shown.
Oh, thanks,
right,
Derek. That really makes them. That really makes them burning down the village.
It is a little bit of an out, but
yeah.
I mean, that's my biggest problem. I get if
it doesn't matter how you shoot shit, man. You could always edit it in a way to convince people otherwise.
How could you edit them burning down?
You can just.
But that's their mentality here. Run it. That's their mentality. They fucking brag about it. They're like, man, we're gonna be so rich from all this fucking all this shit that we're shooting. Literally say it in the film. It's their point.
They do.
But they're planning on make money off of that footage
because they're not going to show themselves on camera fucking raping or doing all this.
First of all,
shit. They're going to edit it in a way just like they did in the other footage that we see.
It really doesn't make sense that they would make that much money anyway. Like nobody.
Yeah, but that's beyond the fucking.
And that's fine. Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. I'm just saying they really wouldn't make that much money realistically.
But they're also working for a studio though too, so they're getting paid straight up, and who knows what their deals are.
But my main argument remains the same, is that there definitely is some stuff that doesn't really line up with the whole story of this film.
I think there's an agenda right from the beginning. There really is.
There is an agenda. It just doesn't make sense.
I just think if they had the guide, because the guide.
Just answer this one thing, right? If they're going to fake everything else in the film, why do they need to go out there? They clearly don't care if it's fake. It's not about integrity of the documentary.
Because
why?
Dude, because
they need some authenticity to it too.
Why?
To make it look fucking real, man. I mean,
why couldn't they just do it with how films are made with fake Aboriginal fucking people?
But you could do that. But if you want to not have to work on it so hard, go to the fucking real place to do it.
Wouldn't you think that would be harder?
Of course
to go
it is.
Deep into the Amazon?
I'm not disagreeing with that.
And you might not even find them, right? They don't know that they're there for sure.
Well, then they're fail. Hoping. But then they fucking fail. But
I'm saying for people who are faking everything in the movie, doesn't it make sense for them to fake that too?
No.
I just want to see.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Dude, you're being serious right now. It doesn't make sense.
Dude, I'm not. If I have a fucking chance to film something in my backyard or in the Amazon for a film that I'm doing about indigenous fucking people and shit, I'm going to the fucking Amazon to make that film.
But if you know that it's dangerous and you could die, and
dude,
you
I'm motivated by fucking money like they are.
Do you care about the integrity of the film?
Dude, They're motivated by money. This is what it comes down to. It was all
Hey,
about
JP,
making
remember
fucking
Moods
rich.
is
All right,
Moods is
All right,
motivated
I'm
by
not gonna
money
win
too.
this
That's
one,
why
sure.
that's why he was going to invest $1 million into the Nightmare City remake and expect to make money back from it.
It would have been curious.
Jeremy, why? Why do you do it, man?
I just expected you guys to at least see where I'm coming from. On
I
that.
do see where it comes from. I think you're wrong.
I think,
And
yeah.
I think you're. So does Derek, man. I think you're fucking wrong, man. I think the point is to go out there and shoot something in the actual vicinity and make it look fucking real, even though they're fabricating.
But there's that there's other tribes, right? They see the other tribe. There's two tribes.
Yeah, but they get killed by one other tribe.
With
Yeah.
that tribe and say it was the other one, which isn't as far and deep into the jungle and as dangerous.
Well, because they burned down the other tribes.
I can't believe it's a major issue. This is fucking insane to me.
He didn't say it was a major issue. He said it was a
I didn't
0.5
say that it was
issue.
I actually said that it wasn't a major issue. Actually,
He said it was a half a
specifically
point
said it
issue.
was a major.
That's a pretty
But
big
I'm just-
argument for half a fucking point.
Well,
though.
it's an argument because we're on opposites. It's not because of how the argument isn't representative of how big the issue is. It's how much we disagree is what the argument's representative.
If you had a chance to shoot something on location versus a fucking
if
a studio
I
that you
had
made in
the
your
chance
backyard,
and I cared about making a good movie, yes, absolutely. If I didn't, if I was
You go to the
faking
Amazon.
everything in the movie, then no, I would fake that too.
I'm just really curious what would happen if
No.
Fippy, the guy had lived, and maybe it would have been a different reaction. They could have got around it a little bit better than they did handle it. You know what I'm saying?
with who living?
The guy that died.
Oh, okay.
Remember, their guy died
Yeah.
because he knew
The
these.
guy. The guy died. What guy?
Their guide.
Guy
Their guide.
Oh, when you
The
say
guide.
guide, I
sounds
thought
like
you were saying
guy.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, man, I don't know, dude. Like, I mean, I love so much about this movie. Like, it is absolutely stunningly, beautifully shot. You know, when they're burning down the camp and they're all running, and then the theme kicks in, it's just gorgeous. It's sad, and it just that song, fucking theme song, man. It can make you sad, or like it could make you seem like adventurous. Like, it has so many emotions that you can hit on that. Like at the beginning when they're showing like the jungle, the green inferno, you know what I mean? That's cool.
Yeah.
Riz
I can
Orlandi's
do
score
without-
is so fucking. It's like, in my opinion, it's the most perfect score ever for a film that's like, it's got a lot of shocking shit in there, because it's like an emotional roller coaster. With that, I mean, the music in the beginning of the film, it sets it up like it's gonna be like this beautiful film. It's got this great, kind of panning. Well, it's overhead shots and stuff. The establishing shots in the film are perfect, mixed with that fucking score and shit. Absolutely amazing. It's crazy to think, because most movies could never make this work with music like that. You just can't.
No, yeah, you're right. I mean, the music is just like it doesn't necessarily off the top of your head.
There's so many
sound
musical
like what it
cues.
looks for.
Yeah, there's so many musical cues in this film where you're just like, what the fuck? Like, how is this happening?
One question I have is, what the fuck is that white foam shit they're drinking?
Oh,
that shit was gross.
The shit
I
that
guess
the
it's
tribe
some
ladies.
tribe.
Yeah, it's like, I don't
Looks
really
like
know.
Jerry's cum all boiled up.
I don't know what it is, but it's like a fucking ancient. It's like a ritual thing where women chew. I don't know what it is, but they chew it
Maybe
up.
it's their tit milk.
But it looked like melted marshmallows though.
It looked like fluff. It looked like fluff.
It does.
right?
It did look like
the
fluff.
one scene that or one of the cannibalism moments that always freaks me out is when they have like the hand, like it's the full arm, but it's like the bone, and there's like kind of some meat in between it and stuff. Just the way that looks, man.
Yeah.
I still hate cannibal films.
What don't you like about cannibal films?
How many have you seen? I'm
A
just
lot
curious.
of it, not a lot, but a bunch.
And
of
do you
it.
hate cannibal films, or do you hate jungle cannibal films?
I hate jungle cannibal films.
Okay.
That's fucked
What
up.
don't you like about jungle cannibal films?
I just think that they spend so much time revolve around the act of cannibalism that they really don't have anything interesting to say in the story and the narrative. That's why I said I like the first 2/3 of this movie more than I did the last third of it, even though it has more substance and subtext and things like that. I just think it's interesting to see the story of this anthropologist going out into the jungle to try and find the footage of these horrible people who end up doing horrible things. I just found it more interesting and more of a tolerable narrative compared to a cannibal.
But see, I don't think that they really spend much cannibal time, though. Like, you expect a movie about cannibalism to have a lot more of it in there.
Yeah,
I really don't feel like they spend that much time eating.
There would have been no cannibalism if it wasn't for fucking these assholes.
Maybe it's just the jungle setting. I don't know.
I think it's one of the best settings of all time. It's so scary.
I think the ending of this film is like terrifying. Like when shit's really going down, and they're like way in over their heads and stuff, and they're just getting fucked up. Like, dude, it's scary. The way that it's shot's scary.
Man, there's so many awesome things, man. Like, if you don't set this in the jungle, you don't get crazy shit like, you know, the dude having to fucking basically...
I'm not saying they shouldn't set it in the jungle. What I'm saying is, in my personal preference, I just don't like them.
No, I'm just saying, in this setting, you know, following these primitive tribes, they have these ways, you know, like if a woman gets raped or whatever, or does some acts of adultery and decency and shit. We get that crazy ass scene where the dude is forced by the tribe. He has no choice but to kill his wife. So he fucking rapes her or fucks her with
giant clay dildo,
like a wood dildo, and then kills her and shit. I'm just like, fuck, man, that's so crazy. But you know, to the Westerners, we're like, damn, that's some fucked up, savage shit. But exactly, that's the point of the movie.
I like that point. That's not a cannibal point, though.
No, but it works. Jeremy, my point is that you wouldn't have a scene like this if it wasn't in these jungles and these indigenous primitive areas and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that tribe was technically a cannibal tribe. I think the more of the tree people were.
The tree people were the cannibals. Yeah.
They're the ones that are like...
Well, they show that because when we first get introduced to the tribe or the tree people, they're like ripping the organs out of that. Yeah, the entries out there, which actually
but the tree people let them into the tribe because of the...
Yeah, but they also let them in because they helped them with the swamp people too.
Because they're not. It's showing that they're not pure savages, right? They're not just you're white and I'm going to go fucking eat you. It wasn't about that, right? It was because they let them in because they treated them properly. Hence, it's a contrast to the end of the film where these guys are totally not treating them right, and then they go berserk, and it shows their savageness.
I said that earlier.
It's not savage. It's like the same old shit where, like, you know, if someone breaks in your fucking house, wouldn't you be a little pissed off they stole all your shit? Probably react to that.
I would shoot him.
Exactly.
And also,
I'd act like a savage at that point too, man. Fuck them.
There's also another callback to the end of the film, which is actually the only animal scene that makes sense for me, is the turtle scene, because of something that happens to a certain character at the end. Because it's the certain character that what happened to the turtle did it to.
Yeah.
I actually didn't. I said that I was going to watch the cruelty-free version. I didn't. I watched the regular version again. I get it. It's like one thing that is good about it is it does affect you. Like,
I thought the monkey getting his head chopped off was more fucked up than the turtle.
The turtle is so long and it's gross.
The monkey thing is so common. It's so common though. Yeah.
Yeah, they do it in
the brains are like a ritual. It's like a dessert to us. You know, it's like a very special delicacy to a lot of those tribes.
Yeah, they do it in Man from Deep River as well.
Yeah,
the poor muskrat getting stabbed in the neck.
See, that's the one that hurts me the most because the way he kills it, it seems savage, and they're fucking guide.
Which one hurts you the least? The snake?
The snake is whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Actually, when they chop that tarantula in half. That's freaking pretty brutal, man.
Probably the turtle, to be honest.
I think the monkey and the turtle bother me the most. I mean, the thing is, like, I don't like seeing it, honestly. Like,
it's fucked up that the turtle's head was still moving after it fucking got cut off.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
Yeah, but
the legs were moving to the point they were ripping the shell off.
I know.
I think weird. The way that Grindhouse, if you have the Grindhouse Blu-ray, they put a text up there, which I think is cool. And it's worded really well. Like, you know, they're obviously saying, like, we don't condone this, obviously, but, you know, keeping art in its uncut format is a pretty cool thing. And, you know, it reminds us of a time where, you know, this stuff was the the long gone like savagery and like the lack of rules in filmmaking of the era, and it reminds us that it existed, and it also, you know, they put that quote up or something like, you know, if you I think they put a quote up of repeating the same thing, that one quote, I forget what it is, unless I'm thinking of something else, I don't know.
I don't think
but
they do.
I like it. No, they don't?
I don't think so.
Could have sworn they did.
I think so, yeah. Like after the credits, I think even Deodato himself says that he regrets filming those scenes now, and he wish he could not film it if he took it back and refilmed the film today. You know what I mean?
Deodato also said in an interview that he was kind of forced into it by the producers. They wanted to put some elements of shock value in there and stuff. And, you know, it wasn't Deodato's idea. It wasn't in the script to, you know, have these real animal killings and stuff. But you got to remember, they were also filming with real primitive, you know, indigenous type people. And, you know, when they killed these animals, it was their food, right? So I think that's one thing that's overlooked a lot of times when you're watching this film, is that people just think that Deodato was a savage fucking killer and, you know, killed these animals and shit, which is not true. It's totally not true. Yeah. According to him, anyways. But I believe it, though.
Yeah,
because, I mean,
the debate always exists, is like, you know, whether the animal was going to be consumed or not, the fact that you're killing it for entertainment, you know, even if it has a secondary value of food,
it's a dual purpose. It definitely is for entertainment and shock value. But I mean, if the tribe was going to essentially kill one of those anyways, why not film it and make double time on it? I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I get the point of it. I mean, I personally don't agree with, you know, having to put that. The movie would have been fine without it. But a lot of people, unfortunately, remember Cannibal Holocaust for the animal killings. Yeah. And nothing else.
It's hard to shake off. It's a big part of the movie,
and it sucks because people are missing kind of the point of it. You know, I mean, even if Deodato says he doesn't have that social commentary, and I think it's kind of bullshit. But I mean, it's very exploitive, and very straight in your face with what he's trying to say, which, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So, I mean,
the movie, and what you're saying makes sense, because the movie on the surface is just this exploitive, like, hardcore shock fest. Mm-hmm. But in reality, it's actually a really well done movie for the most part. Minus one or two things that I wasn't a fan of, but it's pretty brilliant. Like, it's especially for the time. Like, the fact that nobody had ever came up with this found footage thing before, it's pretty brilliant. It really is.
It really is. It's so disturbing, though, in the fact that, like, people look at Cannibal Holocaust and it's almost like a joke to them because the film is called Cannibal Holocaust. You know, you can almost smile. You don't read before you even start the film. You know, you have a hard time taking it serious because it's called Cannibal Holocaust. It's crazy. But in all, you know, when it comes down to it, the movie's actually quite serious, and it's not played for schlock reasons and shit like that. I mean, there's a lot of things going on in this film that is relative to great filmmaking. I mean, the establishing shots, the cinematography, the locations, you know, just dealing, like, Deodato is a fucking, man, soldier. I mean, if you listen to the stories of them filming in here, everybody got sick. People almost died. I think, didn't someone actually die on the set of this thing too? Got bit by a spider or some shit?
I don't know.
But when you're going on location and doing this stuff, man, it takes soldiers to do this shit, man. They filmed, like, the tribes. They're not actors.
Yeah.
They're not fucking actors. This is crazy. They had to like show them what to do. It was crazy. I love this type of filmmaking, and I think the end product really shows the
definition of guerrilla filmmaking.
Well, it's funny. It's actually funny with a lot of the scenes back in New York. There's a scene where the professor's talking to one of the whether white collar work, whatever. But if you look in the background, there's this old dude. He's just like completely staring at the camera the entire time. Straight guerrilla filming. I love that.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big fan of that guerrilla filmmaking, man. I love that shit, man. It's just to me, it's authenticity. You can't get any more real than that when you have people in the background staring at your shit like, what the fuck are these guys doing, man? Like, I love that. People have it as a negative. Me personally, I don't. I think that's great.
Listen, the thing that people think this movie is Cannibal Ferox. Like, that is what people think this movie is.
The interesting contrast is that Cannibal Holocaust is the really, really good version of Ferox. You know, Ferox is the definition of a ripoff that was capitalizing on Holocaust's, you know, success. It's minor success that was happening at the time and shit. But if
minor success? Are you kidding me? This was the second highest grossing film in Japan in 1983, right behind E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
Which is kind of funny because
Really?
Ferox was made in 81. I don't know when Ferox got released, but yeah, man, like if you compare the two in the contract, like Cannibal Holocaust is such a better film.
It's not even comparable.
It really isn't.
We reviewed Ferox last year, and I had watched it literally probably like just a couple weeks after I seen Cannibal Holocaust for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it's like not comparable. Cannibal Ferox is a joke compared to Holocaust. I don't even really like Cannibal Ferox that much. I think I gave it like I gave it a higher rating than you. I gave it a 7. You gave it a 6.
Last time I watched Ferox, that wasn't
5.
overly like I've seen Ferox I think too many times. I don't know.
There's just nothing to it, man. There's no.
And the thing with that is they're trying to like copy like certain animal kills from Holocaust, and they seem like they're doing it to make a buck. To do
Even more so.
The one that bugs me is that little dog pig thing that they have on a leash, and like they have them like treating it like a pet and stuff, and then they put it out there just to get eaten by the snake and shit. I'm just like,
oh yeah, there was the pig death too in this movie. Forgot about that one.
Yeah, that one.
Well, that was
pig getting shot.
I've seen that in real life though.
Yeah, that's the white man being fucking savage, killing the pig for the sake of just killing it because they can. There was no purpose to it at all. Oh. But yeah, that's kind of sad because piggies are cute.
They're smart as fuck.
They're fucking
They're
human.
Smarter than me most of the time.
Like monkeys.
Oh, that poor piggy.
The monkeys and pigs, man. They killed all the good animals. And fucking turtles? What the fuck has a turtle
if
ever
they
done?
killed a dog, I would fucking.
They killed Mikey.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Michelangelo.
I did like that. I mean, obviously the whole end scene, the whole end thing is great. About like I've read review because I looked a little bit of reviews. I've seen people call it hypocritical, saying that Deodato literally makes films for shock value, but yet he's commenting on it being morally wrong to make a buck off of shock value, which is interesting. It's a fair criticism if you think. I mean, that would be more like Ferox to me, but like, yeah, I mean. Deodato definitely.
It is if we take his word for the fact that the studio made him, you know, put those shock value, those animal killings in the film.
No, I'm just saying in general, his movies are very, like, you know, they're kind of sleazy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I mean, I can see where people are coming from, but you have to be in the camp where you think there's nothing redeemable about them. Which
it's almost hypocritical even to criticize somebody for doing something different, though. It's like, what do you want, Deodato to make films just like how everyone's making films at the time? Or do something... I mean, a lot of people take that statement differently. They're like, oh, just because you're doing something different, you're trying to be... You know, you're doing shock value for the sake of doing shock value, you know? It's like... But no, maybe he really wanted to do this shit.
They're commenting on his filmography, like how he... Like the films that he's made, like The Washing Machine, which we'll get to, and like the exploitive just... a lot of people think that there's no substance to them. So that's kind of what they're commenting on. Like he's commenting on people, the studio, like in the movie, wanting to use this footage purely for money, even though it's morally wrong. Yet people think that that's him. Mm-hmm. Like he is that.
Yeah.
So they think it's hypocritical. I just thought it was interesting. I don't agree with it, but I just thought it was interesting. And it was, you know, I can see where they're coming from if you don't like any of his movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rating.
I mean, there is a part in the film that had nothing to do with animals, but it has everything to do with forced abortion and, you know, planting a baby in the fucking riverbed. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure that was Deodato in there. I mean, that seems to me that's more shock value than the animal killings. I mean,
that one scene with the old ladies dying on the river.
Yeah.
That was fucked.
Dude, the fucking makeup on her makes me gag. Every time I see that, I'm just like, oh god, that's gross, man.
I don't know what it is, but I don't know, man. I think the whole forced abortion thing is pretty. But then again,
you know, for us Westerners, we look at that and go, "Fuck, that is fucked up." You know, like even if
Well,
you
it's
are
just
for
natural.
abortion, even if you're for, you know, abortion and stuff like that, whatever. It's just the way it goes down. But you got to remember, this primitive tribe. That's their way of life. That's what they do. You know, they probably don't agree with the way we do shit, and vice versa.
Yeah, man, I hear you there.
Right,
This is crazy.
But again, you know, it's a little bit shocking to see a baby get planted in the riverbed and then buried. It's like, holy fuck, that's brutal. Yeah,
Robert Kerman's actually good in this film too as the Monroe. He's actually it kind of sucks that he never got any more bigger roles.
Debbie Does Dallas was huge, dude.
Yeah. I know he was in The Goodbye Girl too, and Richard Dreyfuss actually recognized him from his porno movies.
That's fucking hilarious.
You're that guy with the big cock, right?
I know Sam Raimi also hired him for Spider-Man. He had like a cameo role because he was a fan from these movies, the cannibal movies.
Dude, I saw that on there. I was like, what the fuck? Spider-Man? So random.
That's great. All right, let's get into ratings. I will go first. Cannibal Holocaust, really, really like this movie. Although I do have a problem with the shit that I discussed, I still think that it's pretty freaking brilliant. And honestly, it's one of the most underrated films in terms of actual like filmmaking. Nobody really seems to give it credit for its, besides the people who are obviously fans of it, but just regular people who check it out, you don't really see them comment on how amazing, and that's why it landed where it did in our top 100 greatest horror films, because judging by the criteria, this fits so many of those criteria. It really truly does. And I think that it's a movie that is unnerving, it's unsettling. I think it's actually scary at times. Like, the ending to me is scary. Like, I actually find that extremely scary. The way that, you know, the helplessness of it, right? Like, even though you don't like these people, to put yourself in their position where it's just like, oh, you're pretty screwed. And the way that it's filmed, like from a distance at times, where, you know, that you're seeing it through the camera, it's like kind of just in the you know, far away, you're seeing what's happening to somebody else. It's just brutal. The animal killing stuff gets under my skin. I'm coming in at the same rating I was at last time. Although I do have that thing that bothers me, it's not worth that much. I give it a 9 out of 10.
Nice.
Cool. Derek.
I'll go next. Yeah. First time I ever seen this was when I was 15 years old. I remember watching on DVD and being stunned at it, because at that age you're like, is this real? You know? Of course I know that it's not, because I read about the film over the years and stuff. And it's just a pure cinematic treat. And yeah, I could get it if somebody has problems with what the shit that the characters are doing, but I think it's a little bit more exploitive for the movie itself, for the actions, and it has a great message of who are the real cannibals, you know, that type of deal, which it makes you think. And it's very odd watching movies from this period, especially with the World Trade Center in them. You know, it's kind of mind-joggling in that aspect of it, because New York itself is like a giant jungle itself, and it's just a great experience. And, you know, very well executed, well cinematography. The score by Reza Orlaney, fucking amazing, man. I listen to the soundtrack all the time. I always joke around with the soundtrack too. Like, every time a cookie drops in my milk, I think of the Cannibal Holocaust theme. You know, but it's an amazing film, and it's a powerful film that will affect people either negatively or amazingly. And before that, it gets a 10 out of 10 for me.
Of course, 10 out of 10 Derek returns with a vengeance.
Of course. Now it's going to be in the Hall of Fame just because he gave it a fucking 10 out of 10. I give it an 8.5. First time watch. Even though maybe I personally wouldn't prefer it, I still understand everything about it that is important to the genre and what it did for the genre. Again, maybe not my cup of tea personally, but I still appreciated everything that we talked about in this one. So 8.5. See, I actually said something for once.
Good shit, Jeremy.
The Green Inferno.
God.
Just hearing that term.
Makes me think of that piece of shit Eli Roth.
Well, that's where he,
Yes, I
got
understand.
the name for it. But yeah, man. Oh, Cannibal Holocaust, man. I swear every time I watch this movie, I love it more. It's hard to digest at times with the killings, with the animal killings, but it's all part of it.
Can you watch this a lot? I know it's one of your favorites, but can you actually like watch it a lot? This is like a once a year for me or less.
I mean,
it's just too intense to watch.
To be honest, I don't rewatch movies that often in a year just because of the show. We do so many watching, film watching, that I just don't really have time to do it. But I mean, if I wasn't doing it, I'd probably watch it more than I do now. It's I absolutely love this movie. I personally think that the score, Riz Orlini's score, it might even be the best score ever. It's so executed perfectly because it's like right from the opening shot in the film, it just sets up this kind of, it's almost like a misleading sound, and I think that sets up the horror that is coming so perfect in this film. I don't really have a lot of problems with this film whatsoever. I think it's so overlooked. I agree with you, JP. It's completely underrated in the aspect of filmmaking. Deodato did such a brilliant job with, and all around cinematography. But some of my favorite shots in this film come in the third act when they're being attacked and shit is going down and they're still filming like that whole fucking found footage type style and shit. Like that's where everything comes from, is those scenes, but they're shot so fucking good. The only minor gripe I've ever had with this film is when the professor and the executives are looking at the footage and stuff and like, yeah, well, there was no sound in the scene because they kind of forgot to put their sound on. I'm like, these guys are that professional and they forgot to fucking put their sound on when they were filming? Like, that's the one thing that always bugged me about this film. Like, that doesn't make any sense because they're the best of the best. They're the best of these world traveler filmmaker or documentary filmmakers, but they forgot to put their sound on. So I had to add in some, I don't know what he calls it, like funky music or some shit or something. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me, man. But it's so fucking minor. It is what it is, man. But yeah, it's excluding what the film has done for the horror genre and realm and in the UK and video nasties and stuff, rating the film specifically by itself, I also am at a 10 out of 10. I think this movie is absolutely perfect. It's amazing to me.
Hall of Famer in all four of us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That is a 38.5 out of 40.
No, it would be a 20.
37.
20. Well, we don't do out of 40. It's out of 30.
I know. No, it's just crazy also when you think about all the movies that kind of pay homage to it, because there's even like a homage in Kong Skull Island to Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah, a little bit, right?
I like that. I liked Kong Skull Island too.
Yeah.
That guy graduated from my school.
What guy?
The director?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
See, cool. Jeremy, dreams could come true.
Oh, they can. That's a bunch of shit. Fucking crazy fucking business industry. Sucks.
Bonus ratings. Okay, Brandon, what do you rate Cannibal Holocaust?
I officially rate Cannibal Holocaust a 10 out of 10.
Nice. Zach, what do you rate Cannibal Holocaust?
10 out of 10, motherfuckers.
Amazing.
Can I add something?
Yes, you can.
Since we covered it on Exploding Heads, Christian also rates it a 10 out of 10.
Motherfucker.
These are all the appropriate ratings right now. Moving along from Cannibal Holocaust, dipping into the mid-80s, 1985. with a film called Cut and Run.
Wow, I actually watched these in order. I didn't expect that.
Now, this movie has always been super confusing to me, not only because the narrative is completely a goddamn mess, but the fact that this movie gets categorized as a cannibal film when...
What? How is this a cannibal film?
Well, that's what I'm getting at. It's always in...
Is there any cannibalism in it?
Well, because this movie was supposed to be the third part in, Deodato's cannibal trilogy and stuff, but the studio wanted him to make a cannibal film. And he was like, basically in layman's terms, he just said, fuck no, I'm going to do my own thing.
Yeah, I watched his intro. He was just like, I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, so he wanted to do something else. This movie had a lot of production problems, as you can probably tell, narrative-wise and stuff. It's kind of all over the place. A lot of things aren't explained and shit, but the most interesting aspect of this movie is that the original script for Cut and Run was written by Wes Craven. And he was supposed to direct And he was supposed to direct this movie.
Yeah, I read that too.
That's so fucking weird, because I swear to God.
Oh, nom, 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 nom.
How about we swallow first?
Sorry.
Professionalism, that's worse than me going like this.
Dude, you don't have to give it the actual example.
I did it softly. I didn't do it loud like I usually do.
Killing me softly with your song, guys.
Shit,
You
did that last week too when I yelled at you.
What?
From eating and fucking chewing on the mic.
I'm not trying to, though. I was fucking I normally don't eat on the podcast. Like, I normally have my shit muted and stuff. My bad.
But yeah, so, the end product that Deodato put out here.
My point was, I got some Wes Craven vibes, dude. It's weird.
Was it the Berry Man?
Probably.
The Berry Man. He's not even in the movie that much. He's in the movie for like 2 minutes.
I have no idea. I would love to see the original script that Wes Craven wrote and compare it to what we got by Deodato, because it seems like to me that a lot of things are changed. I can't see Wes Craven doing some of the things that were in the film.
Like raping his girlfriend?
Yeah. Dude, Wes Craven was all about rape, dude. You're forgetting where Craven came from.
No, I don't know. It just the whole kind of action sequence. I don't know, the action scenes. It just, I don't know.
He's done it. He's done it before, man. He's done it with Swamp Thing.
Music
yeah, he did not do that one well. It was really bad.
This film is like Nightmare City.
Yeah, but is this one done well? I don't think this movie's done well.
It's like Nightmare City last year. It's the same kind of movie. It's stupid, entertaining, fun.
I think Nightmare City is more entertaining.
Yeah, Nightmare City is a better movie than this, but synopsis. A reporter and her cameraman connect on a surviving Jonestown leader and TV exec's missing son to a drug war where jungle enslaved are being massacred by an army of natives and a skilled white assassin, of course only played by Michael Berryman. Yes.
Oh, it's not played by that other guy that I have no idea who it is.
Lynch Mob's the Jim Jones guy.
Who's Lynch? Who's that? Who's Lynch?
Richard Lynch.
Richard Lynch,
you know, that's one problem with this movie is that Richard Lynch is not in it enough.
Berryman isn't in it that much either, and he's on the fucking cover.
Yeah,
but Berryman's never in movies a lot.
But Berryman
That's true too.
He doesn't even.
He's in The Crow.
He doesn't have a word in this movie. He's like in a silent role. But he's pretty cool though. He looks.
I think they were trying to play the Richard Lynch character as like a Colonel Kurtz from Apocalypse Now character type of deal.
That's exactly what this movie is, like a horror / action / war film in the jungle. It's weird. It has like all these genres. Like you get this Apocalypse Now feel to. You get like. I don't know.
You have that documentary feel from Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah,
too.
It has all that type of feel. It's like all these subgenres and films into one. It's very strange. But the irony is that, you know, that you put all these things together, but it never made a cohesive narrative because, to be honest, like there's shit happening and popping up all over the place in this film and you're like, what? Like, honestly, Willie Ames' character, man, so he's abducted by this drug cartel.
Yeah, but you don't even know till forever.
No, but I know. But the fucking fact of that, why did they even take him in the first place?
Wait, who's Willie Ames?
There's never an
explanation. Is that the with the Mickey Mouse shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy from Charles and
Yeah,
Charles. He's the guy from Charles and Charles.
That was people's sons forever. I
Until
didn't know
at
what
the
the
end
fuck
where he says, Hi,
What is
Daddy.
the girl? What's the girl? What is hit? Why are they there?
She's a news reporter, and she's
Not that
covering
girl.
the.
The girl in the
the
locker.
girl that gets sexed on.
Oh no, that's
No. The TV
What's
at
she
that.
there?
That's one of the best jump scares in Texas Chainsaw 2 when that bitch jumps out of that fucking locker, man. It's awesome.
That's not
Really?
bad. I mean,
It's a great jump
there is
scare.
a narrative here, man. I mean, this TV reporter, she's
No, but
investigating these
what's
murders.
the girl? What is the girl and the dude's purpose at that encampment?
I think the girls just there to be fucked. To be honest.
the guy, he was. That's my point, man. He was abducted apparently, but they never go into any ransom type deal. They never really bring up why he's stuck there. But the funny thing is, he has freedom, he can roam around. Obviously, he can't get anywhere.
Yeah,
'cause they're,
and
in
then
the
he tries to
jungle.
escape once, and they're like, "You're lucky."
Yeah, but they never
He didn't
elaborate.
kill you, but they don't really say why they didn't kill him.
Yeah, they never elaborate on why he's if they had to just simply brought up
Like
the
if they
fact
were
that,
just
hey,
using
man,
him for slave labor or something, it would have
well,
made
his
sense.
father was the TV executive producer,
So
right?
he
Yeah.
clearly had money.
Clearly, but they never specified hey, we have your son because we want $1 million. If they had just
But
said that, totally
do they
fine.
know that? Do they know who he is?
Well, of course. Why else would he be there? Did they
Why
just
would he
want
still be
Yeah,
alive?
they
That's
you know?
what we're asking.
Didn't they say he ran away? I thought they said somewhere he ran away.
He ran away to fucking the
I
middle
don't-
of the jungle where during. Oh man.
You guys
Okay,
watch
so
the
what's the
Yankee-
girl there for then?
The reporter or the? Oh no, not the
No, dude.
reporter. I think she was just a foreigner that lived there, and then she got caught up because she's a nice little piece of ass. So
I
they're
think she
gonna
was a little
fucking-
bit of a runaway that just kind of got caught up with the wrong people and ended up as a fuck toy.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, I didn't like this that much. Didn't like it.
I thought it was.
I thought it was. I mean, where's the fun at? Because it seems like a lot of scenes of nothing.
People getting blown up.
Dude,
with guns
it's a
and
mindless.
shit
It's
like
like
that.
a mindless action with horror gore.
Yeah.
Dude, when the guy gets split in half and shit, I know they.
Yeah, John Steiner. Yeah.
So that scene is so fucking funny, dude. I guess the inspiration was straight taken from, Vietnam. He's like, that's we saw in Vietnam. We'll just fucking do some horror gore type thing, and
It's just mindless, stupid.
it really is, man. I mean, this movie kind of leads you on the wrong page. Like the opening scene where
The opening,
the
you
natives.
think it's going to be like a cannibal movie or something.
Yeah, because these guys get all attacked. Berryman's all awesome as this white assassin and shit. It's awesome. People are dying left
he's
and
like
right.
the albino of the group.
And then it goes into this narrative where this TV reporter and her cameraman are investigating these massacres of the drug dealers that are being killed off and shit. And then the whole story just kind of jumbles
that seems
itself.
pretty cool too because
That
you
seems
get to
gory
see
as
all
fuck.
this
Yeah.
carnage.
Which is actually
It's
cut.
pretty cool.
All that shit is cut out of the.
I know you can tell
the cut
because
version.
fucking
Yeah.
the
The
language
Italian
changes.
subtitles.
It's weird on the Blu-ray. It's not like that though.
I watched it in Italian. even though
Yeah,
I should
see,
probably watch it in
there's
English.
differences. There's actually
I
a
watched
scene,
it in English.
Yeah, there's a couple scenes actually in the Code Red Blu-ray where there actually was English audio, but they still put in the Italian dub.
I think there was only English audio on the South Korean, on some South Korean print or something. I remember reading.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Huh. I think
But
it'd be South Korea.
it's very strange. Very
Yeah.
strange. But actually, most of the Blu-ray, I gotta say, Code Red did a good job with remastering that though. Fucking looks really good.
Yeah.
Did you say
so-
remassacring?
Remastering.
I thought you said remassacring. I was like, that's kind of a cool.
Remastering? Yeah, might as well.
That's, probably
That's
what
way cooler.
That's what Code Red probably mispronounced it.
The
on
remastered
Blu-ray.
massacre.
Because they always misspell words on their Blu-ray releases, so it might be that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, I have fun with this one, man.
It's fun.
It's mindless.
I don't know. I didn't really have that much fun.
Yeah, but you didn't like
I-
Nightmare City either, and it's fun.
No. I liked Nightmare City. I just didn't think it was good. That's the
You
difference.
gave it a below average rating, so how do you think it's good?
I didn't think it was good. That's what I'm
So
saying.
why did you give it a 4.5 out of 10? How did you like it?
Because
You
it
gave
wasn't good.
So why do you just
Didn't
said
you
you
just
thought
argue with Moods about this one day, and you were on the camp of me, and now you're. This guy switches his thing all the time.
Oh, that was my whole argument on the It argument.
Oh,
Thank you.
here we go again.
Hey, man,
Oh, please.
that was my whole argument. You switching up your arguments.
Okay.
You just did it
No,
again.
because you just said before.
How do you
This
like?
wasn't-
How could you like a movie and give it a below average rating?
Because I think the movie's bad.
So why do you like it then?
But there's no law saying that you can't like a movie that's terrible.
That's true too.
Right? You know deep down the movie's fucking terrible.
And
but
you know
love it.
that I don't rate based on how much I like something necessarily versus how good I think it's made. But I do, I mean, I don't know. I guess to be fair though, you are right. I didn't like it that much. It was okay.
Oh, now who's changing their shit here?
Yeah.
Jesus.
To be fair, I didn't like it that much, but I thought it was okay. It's just, but this one, I don't know, man. I just was like,
there is too many characters.
I don't think there was much going on in it.
Oh, there's a lot of characters.
Well, that's the irony, JP. That's the
I don't know.
irony of the film, though, is that there's almost too much. Like, they have all this drug cartel stuff. They have this.
They have
this
Eric
whole
Lasagna as a pimp informant.
Yeah, and then they have Richard Lynch as like this fucking Jim Jones executive survivor and shit. Like they connect this movie to like the Jonestown thing, and there's just like all this crazy shit that's going on.
Like, I didn't care about it. Like,
dude, Eric LaSalle plays Fargus. He's the fucking the black pimp
informant.
Fucking awesome. Karen
can
Black's
you explain I was watching this shit, and they're in this plane, right?
Yeah.
And the pilot of the plane just gets killed from inside this giant ass plane through a window. And then they're like, we got to get in the back or something. And then it just cuts to them like somewhere else. And I'm like, wait a minute. How did they get out of that situation? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, well, apparently somebody knew how to land the plane or something.
Yeah,
no. They're landed.
Camera guy.
They're landed.
Oh yeah.
And the pilot gets killed.
Yeah, that's right.
With the blow dart, which, by the way, I don't know why the fucking windows were open.
I think he was looking out the window.
Yeah, and then anyway, the two run into the back of the plane. They're like, we got to get down or something. Like, got to get in the back. And then the next time you see them, they're out of that situation. Like, where didn't the people that killed the pilot, like, wait on them to come out of the plane? Like, what happened there?
I like the fucking cameraman in this, though. He's fucking awesome. Leonard Mann.
Fucking flying the plane at the end like a badass.
And fucking shooting guns and shit. Fucking amazing.
It got good music. Let's say that.
Claudio, that's Moose's theme.
That's where
I've used that fucking thing for years. That
I didn't know where I heard it before.
A lot of people have asked me. I'm like, cut and run. They're like, what the hell's cut and run? But yeah, Claudio Simonetti, of course, from Goblin, does the score in this film, and he actually does the score for the next film too.
That we're going to be reviewing.
Yeah, it's kind of
big old titty.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, the Mickey Mouse kid was annoying. I didn't like him very much.
Do you like Charles and Charz?
He reminds me of the kid from The Wizard,
Yeah,
just a little bit older and stupider.
Willie Ames, man, from Charles and Charz.
Yeah, it was actually because on the Code Red. Did you watch the interview with him, Moods?
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah.
He had a rough time with Deodato on the set of this movie.
Apparently Deodato said that he was impossible to work with because he had all these personal issues.
Mickey Mouse shirt.
Yeah, he kept bringing him to the set and shit, and he was a dick.
Yeah,
he's like, come on, Ruggero, I really want to wear this Mickey Mouse shirt. He's like, why? It makes no sense. And he's like, because, man, it's my favorite. And he's like, all right, whatever, wear it.
What's up? This movie has its second week in a row where the director had to deal with an asshole actor. Was the lady from Opera, a bitch to work with.
Yep.
It's two in a
she
row.
was a nightmare, apparently.
He was worried because everyone was warning him about Richard Lynch when they were working on it because he was like, he's fucking crazy. He tried to set himself on fire. But then they made 5 films together after.
Wait, is that why you said lynch mob the other day? Is that a thing? Is that like
it's like the Vince Vaughn Nation for Lynch.
Dude, did somebody start a lynch mob?
Yeah, Neil did.
Of course. Neil creates everything that's crazy in our page. Fucking guy.
Neil Lamoy?
Yeah.
How did he even know about it?
Because he listens to your podcast.
Does he really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
I was posting pictures of fucking the Lynch Mob's album for a long time. Part of the Lynch Mob, man.
Yeah. And then there's the Danny Aiello Nation.
Fucking Nelly.
No, not fucking Donatelli. Danny Aiello, you fucking...
Well, I'm saying fuck Donatelli and his 1 out of 10 rating on The Stranger. Or 2 out of 10.
Is
whatever
Don
the
and Ellie
fuck
in the
it is.
Hall of Fuckers by chance?
Oh, he's the vice president right below Jerry.
My 2 co-hosts. I'm
Wait, Don and Ellie's your co-host?
on the Underwater Kaiju show. He's on
How
that
do you
show.
put up with that much Don and Ellie?
Yeah, seriously.
Well, it's kaiju talk, so I take it in small doses. We don't talk about really anything else.
It's not like
Does he
a
get every-
bi-monthly show though, too.
Yeah, we have fun with the kaiju.
So that's pretty
shit,
small.
you know?
That's pretty small doses.
Does it give everything a 10 out of 10?
We don't rate movies on that show either.
Oh, I wonder why.
Oh
Real-
shit! I will never listen to a show that doesn't rate movies.
There's no rate. Why didn't you guys?
Well, then you
rate shows?
no, because I don't know. Kill the Cast doesn't rate
because
movies
they
either.
knew Don would just give everything a 10, so like, well, just
Yeah.
avoid this situation.
Well, Jerry doesn't like rating movies either, so because he doesn't rate movies on Kill the Cast.
See, that's why they're
No,
in the
it bugs
Hall of
me.
Fuckers.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I
you
just
know.
like ratings.
I could do either or. You know, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's just a fun focus point, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of ratings,
Jeremy, why don't you go first? Tell us about Counter Run.
No, we go in order. You should know this. It's
Your
your
turn.
turn.
Okay, I'll go. Yeah, Cut and Run. I have fun with this movie. It's not perfect by any means. It has a lot of technical issues with it, and you could tell from the way that it was filmed. But I do like the cast for the most part. I like Leonard Mann. I always liked him. He's in one of my favorite slashers of all time, Night School. He's the lead detective in that movie, and he's kind of cool in this movie. And I like Lisa Blunt, who's no longer with us. Sadly, she passed away. Very sad, actually, how she died. I think she was hit by a car, if I'm mistaken, Moods.
Yeah, if I remember, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I always liked her. She was in like Dead and Buried and Prince of Darkness. I always liked her as an actress. You know, there's some cool like genre shit in here. Richard Lynch, I wish he was in the film more. But what we get with him, it's cool. And Eric Lasalle is fucking hilarious with the fucking purple hat, man. Soundtrack's fucking banging and has great music. Overall, it's a fun movie. I have fun with it. I give it like a 7 out of 10. That type of deal.
I give it a 6.5. It's mindless fun. It's not like an amazing movie by any sense, but I still had fun with it. 6.5.
Oh, I guess that's me.
Yep.
Yeah, it's you, Moods.
Yeah, the highlight for me, man, is Simonetti's fucking music, man. It's awesome. It's cool to see Berryman in here. I think he's actually kind of one of the most memorable parts of this film. You know, it's a mess. I won't lie. The narrative in this movie just kills me because I'm watching. Wow, that totally was not me.
That was me.
Oh, Jesus. We're farting podcast. What
That
was
was fast for the one you fucking blew a few weeks ago.
I can't
Sounds
remember.
like a little
Yeah, right
horn.
when I was trying to plug like this important thing to me.
Actually, okay, so I've always said, man, I always wanted a little bit more Richard Lynch in the film. His demise in this movie is so fucking bizarre to me. I mean, I guess
I didn't even notice a Richard Lynch until you guys said something.
how do you not recognize Richard Lynch? He's all burnt up.
Who? Because I don't know who he is.
Me neither.
Oh, that does it. You know what this means, Moods? I have
This
the
is-
Patreon bad dreams, man.
This is crazy.
It's coming.
And I'm pretty sure
I just
JP's
watched
even
that,
seen.
James.
Yeah, I was gonna
Did
say,
you like
I've never
it?
seen that.
Wait, Richard Lynch was in that?
Oh
He's
my
a fucking
god,
killer.
Jesus! He's
I
the,
like
he's
Bad
the focus
Dreams.
point of the movie.
That Dreams is good stuff.
Richard Lynch, man.
I heard that. part.
Invasion USA, man. That's just the best fucking role ever. Yeah, I've always wanted a little bit more. They kind of really stray away from his whole character and his whole kind of subplot in the film, which is kind of weird. Again, it makes the whole fucking overall product just so strange. But again, I agree with Jeremy. It is mindless popcorn fun, and I'm also at the same rating of 6.5 out of 10. It's
All right.
It's fun. It's fun.
All right, so for some reason I got the mindless aspect, but I didn't get the entertainment part. Like I thought it was kind of bland. I was just like, like it starts off good enough. That's cool, and then right after that's another cool scene where, you know, you're seeing this aftermath of this drug thing, and then it's like, okay, there's boring. Okay, there's a like sexual assault. You get to see boobs. That's kind of cool. You get to see this Mickey Mouse crybaby see his crush get sexed on by another person. Okay,
Mhm.
nothing. That
was actually Deodato's girlfriend too. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So yeah, I mean, it was a lot of boring nothing to me almost. So I didn't really like this one. Honestly.
Let me guess. You watched this at work and you had to pause it 14 times.
Nope. I watched it yesterday when I got home last night after the fights.
Right.
And yeah, I don't know, man. I just it didn't have much to me. I kind of like the concept of relating it to a real world event with the Jim Jones thing, but that didn't really go many places. I'm coming in at a 4, dude.
A 4?
Wow.
Wow. I was expecting like a 4.5 or a 4. Wow.
I thought it was going to be like Southern Comfort, and he's going to give it like a 7 or something.
I was at a 4.5 until Jeremy told me that I rated Nightmare City 4.5, and I was like, I actually like that movie more than this. Let me give this a 4.
Crazy, man. Yeah, I had fun watching it again last night. It was cool.
That's fun.
Yeah, oddly enough, the wife she watched Cannibal Holocaust with me.
Say so.
And then booked out for Cut and Run. So. I'm like, really? You're just gonna watch Cannibal Holocaust with me? And
does she like it?
She loves Cannibal Holocaust. She's a big fan.
That's a keeper.
Yeah, she even said like right after, she's like, man, every time, because we've watched it together before, and she's like, that score, man, the music is just so amazing. Get stuck in your head, and yeah, she's a keeper. She's a keeper. It really does. So you can't get it out of your head.
That night, when I went down to check the washing machine, the door was jammed. I looked inside and I saw the water was all red.
Moving into the 90s, 93.
Damn,
big old
the 90s. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, man, this movie doesn't look like the 90s. It looks way older.
It feels like an early 80s.
Dude, this movie's misleading as hell. I expected the elevator, but with a washing machine. There's not a killer washing machine in this movie at all.
Yeah, I never thought. Yeah, that's
any movie called like The Car, the Lift, the Thing. You expect those things to be doing the killing.
Well, it's actually kind of funny because Deodato did a killer telephone movie called Dial Help.
Dial Help. You expect that to be the killer.
You know, it's funny. I originally was going to pick that one, but I was like, it's kind of on the same lines as The Washing Machine a little bit.
Like, you look at the cover of this. I'm looking at it on IMDb. This movie screams killing washing machine. That is not what I got.
Yeah.
Look at the cover. Look at the cover. That is a movie about a killer washing machine.
Could you imagine? Killer washing machine just soaps people
to
death?
Well, it needs to be made now.
All right, so The Washing Machine. A police detective investigates the murder of a man found dismembered in a washing machine and is drawn into a web of deceit and murder by the dead man's lover, Vita, and her two sisters, Sissy and Lamina.
See, the thing with this movie is you would think that Deodato's actually doing something good and giving a group of characters who are female empowerment, but then it just gets all washed away by this Alec Baldwin, this German Alec Baldwin looking motherfucker. And
I call him Russian Alec Baldwin.
This whole entire fucking premise of the movie's shifted away from these strong females to this douchebag Alec Baldwin wannabe lookalike. And it's like, oh man, if you just would have fucking put the more the vision towards the women and not this douchebag who could have been.
That guy's a fucking
Argento level.
But you think it's more about him though? I mean, their sluttiness and their sleaziness and their deceit and their them coming onto him is all part of their bigger plan and shit. I mean,
the double twist ending's kind of fun. That's probably the best part of the movie.
You have to give him credit though, man, for somebody that's investigating a murder, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And for how often these three hot sisters, which I think they actually in dialogue even say that they're sisters by name. They're not actually related. But anyways.
So they bang each other?
He does maybe.
Well, she was rubbing her cooter when she was fucking that guy. So
I think they're just really good.
I wish they were just straight related. They shouldn't have said that.
I think they were just good friends or whatever. But anyways, he does a pretty good job of kind of beating him off. And that was a really
no
poor choice
pun
of words.
intended.
No, but for
She was
as long
beating
as he
off.
did, because let's face it, man, if you're a detective and you're investigating this and you have to deal with these hot women and they're blatantly rubbing their pussies in your face, like it's just ridiculous. Every
Just
scene in this film
have to get a
is
new
them
lotion
opening up their damn
container.
legs and showing their vaginas and shit. It's crazy. He does a pretty good. He holds out for a long time. He holds out longer than most
Who's
guys
the
would.
chick with the giant boobs?
Oh
Like,
man, she
those
had
things
some-
were falling out of that.
Yeah, that's
She
Vita.
had some huge ass fucking titties,
That's-
man.
She had some fucking mortadella nipples. You see the size of that fucking thing when it
those are
popped out?
What is
tits
a
that you put your.
mortadella?
That's a fucking luscious looking lady. Like
You don't know? You know what
Man.
mortadella is? It's like bologna.
Oh,
yeah, like big fucking kind of silver
which
dollar
actress
nipples and
is
shit.
She?
Vita? Like what's her name? Oh,
Is
I
that
don't-
who it is? Vita.
I bet you she gives a good titty fuck.
yeah, that's Vita. She's actually like a Polish
you would
actor.
know.
She's like a Polish actor.
I would die in those.
Oddly
I never
enough.
said I knew. All I said is I bet you she gives a good titty fuck. I never said that I
I
knew.
would suck the milk
Gives a
right
good
out of
titty
them.
fuck.
You know, it's funny. I
I bet she gives a good titty fuck.
was watching this movie going, man,
This
this
is a weird combination of words.
I'm like, the buildings and shit don't look like Italy. And yeah, I'm just noticing here
Hungry.
it was shot in Budapest. So
Yeah.
That makes sense.
No,
Yeah.
you know what, man? I totally got that vibe when I was watching it. I was like, not only that, I really like the stylistic lighting choices in this film.
It's all
It's just
blue.
very dark.
Yeah, me
dark
too.
and blue. I really enjoyed that.
yeah, man.
That's the only resemblance of the 90s to me is this like cold, dark looking weird 90s. But that's it.
This is a
I
product
just like
of it.
the tone, the like vibe.
Yeah, this is a product of its time. Big time. You know, the early 90s when those erotic thrillers were so popular.
Yeah, it feels like that's the vibe. Yep.
You know, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what you get here. It's essentially, it's not, I wouldn't say it's a giallo. I mean, it's a police
Basically,
investigation.
people wanted to be able to rent porn without actually renting porn.
But I like
Because they
how,
didn't like it look like a dickhead.
see, Deodato, you know, a lot of people always say that Deodato crosses lines and shit, but then this one, he was making an erotic thriller, but he never got like so sleazy where we're seeing like open vagina and you're just like, I can rent porno to see that and shit. Sometimes I don't want to see that in these films. I know it sounds kind of funny, but I like when it leaves some shit to the imagination.
Well, that's
And
coming next week.
According to Mr. Skin, that bra with the big ass titties, she was in a movie called Summer Love from 2006 with Val Kilmer, and
Wow.
she shows breast, butt, and bush, and she has big ass titties again.
Wow.
So, do you want to watch a movie called Dead
I
Man's
mean,
Body?
I'm looking at pictures of her from now. She definitely looks a lot older now. I wonder what she looked like in 2006. That was over 12 years ago still.
It was
Mr.
it was
Skin
13
really
years
does have
after.
everything. Jesus Christ.
It was 13 years after this one, but yeah, fuck, man. Oh, dude, that's one thing about this movie. It's just all the sisters, man, are so hot, dude. Like Maria is just like that face, so fucking beautiful.
Very weird sex scene between them with all the blind people.
Yeah, I would like this movie to get released.
I like that
Region
scene,
1.
man. Because like, isn't that like a perfect opportunity to have sex in public where everyone around you is blind?
It kind of is.
It's like I like how they utilize that situation. Like, hey, you know, she can seduce him, and he's gonna, you know, give into it. Why not right now? No one can actually see us doing it. It's amazing. I like that shit.
Like this movie kind of reminded me of like, cause it's honestly it's not amazing or anything,
No.
but it reminds you that like Deodato is actually a good director. Like he is. Like you can see that there's like stylistic things about his movies that even like Cut and Run, I didn't like it.
See,
but
this is why I picked these three different
he's
films.
a good director.
Yeah, I wanted to showcase like three different kind of times and periods and three totally different type of films, just so you get an idea of Deodato's range a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, some of his earlier stuff's really good, like, you know, but Waves of Lust, yeah, that one's really good. But yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it's an interesting film because what we get here is like, did they kill somebody or did they not kill somebody?
Yeah.
I like the concept of this film because you have three slutty sisters who are all hitting on this detective. We find out there's an agenda there, but I like the fact that they're telling all these conflicting and different stories, and that's kind of what we follow through the whole film. I think it's a different aspect for, you know, like a giallo / erotic thriller. That setup is a little bit different. You don't see that a lot.
Yeah.
I love that they always
I
know
wish
where
there
he
would have
is,
been
too.
I wish there would have been a little bit more violence or like something to kind of hold you over between like the downtime. There's like that one cool scene towards the end with the only real gory shit that you get.
And it's a nightmare. It's a dream sequence.
Yeah. Don't you wish that there would have been like a few kills or something thrown in to kind of keep everything moving?
That's more of like a mystery.
I don't know. I was too busy jerking off to it, to be honest.
Dude, but that is my point exactly, because then you could have jerked off twice as much if there had been kills in there.
Oh, there it is.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oof.
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't mind it, you know. It has the twist ending really paid off for me, per se.
Yeah, that's probably the best part of the movie, to be honest.
I kind of like the ride. I like how, you know, when you realize right away that, you know, the sister tells this story and then the other one kind of tells one. I was kind of waiting for more of like the fictitious stories to come out. I was just looking forward to those type of things.
I like the aspect of Marie too, because there's that thing at the end where maybe she did do what she did for the reasons, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Without going too much into it, because I know you guys don't spoil shit, but you know what I mean. I did like that aspect of it too, with the character.
I think that the ending, the double twist and shit, I think it's a little bit shocking, actually. I never saw that shit coming. It's pretty good. And she's so fucking hot. Oh, man, that chick is hot. Whew.
Even the do is subscribe to MrSkin.com. You get all that you want.
Man, like, that is, like, she's like one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. Like, it's crazy. Her face, her body, it's crazy. So good looking.
So
Oh, yeah. What you doing now, Jeremy?
True Detective, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Best nude scene ever.
Yeah. I've never watched a show, but I've seen that scene.
He has.
It's a perfect length, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
But yeah, man, one highlight
again she had
for
to be
me
in that shitty Texas Chainsaw film.
That's true. That is true. One highlight
and that Malevolent sequel.
Malevolence?
Whatever.
Why have I seen everybody talking about Malevolence lately?
Because it's coming out on Blu-ray.
Well, they just released the new one, which is like 8 years after the second one, finally just got made. So they released the first two on Blu-ray too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Malevolence came out in like, what, 2000?
No, I've never seen it. I'm just saying, like, that's why everybody's talking about it, because there's a third one all of a sudden?
Yeah.
And they got released on Blu-ray.
Yeah, so when they released the third one, they released the first two, and then they all kind of go in sequence.
Are they good?
The first Malevolence film is awesome. I like it.
I like it. I think the acting's the worst part about it, but it's a fun movie.
The second one is like a prequel, I believe.
What,
I remember, I think. But
Derek said the acting wasn't the best. Jeremy would love it.
Yeah.
No, I don't love it. I like it. I think it's a little. Like the characters, I don't really care for that much in the first one. I like the second one though. I like it because Michael Biehn's in it. You know,
and it's a prequel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I own the first two. I haven't watched them in a long time, but yeah, getting back to the washing machine, man. I really do like the way this film looks, man. It's weird because it's, you know, if you look at most films that came out in 93, they wouldn't look this old. It has such a strange aesthetic. The colors in this are like very warm and dull, but I think it kind of adds to the overall feel of the film because it feels like a fucking kind of a nightmare the whole time because you don't really know exactly who is telling what and what's going on really and shit. But I think the visual that he created for the story is perfect. And Simonotti's music is amazing as usual, and it totally fits
I love the
again.
main theme.
It fits the mold of the film, and that's what keeps me intrigued with this one, man. Last time I watched this was me and Dylan with our Italian.
When you fucking stank him out.
Yeah, I was farting him out.
I still wish that it would have been about a killer washing machine.
How the fuck are you gonna make a whole film based on a killer washing machine?
I don't know. Didn't they do it with fucking?
They did with the lift.
The Mangler.
I guess so.
Inanimate objects.
Washing machine?
I don't know.
I've never seen it. So.
Isn't it a press machine?
Yeah, it's like it's like a press machine or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I read the story, but no, I don't know, man. That's the filmmaker's job to make it make sense.
Well, I see he'd already done like a killer inanimate object thing with the phone, so
yeah.
I mean, to go and do the washing machine as a killer, I mean,
I think
we call it like the washing machine murder.
Well, I actually like the Italian name of this Vortex Immortal or something.
Yeah, it's Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something fucking crazy. No, I think the title suits it, especially with the aspect of the jumbled stories and shit that you get from
It does. I just wish that I would have a movie about a killer washing machine too.
I want a killer vending machine movie with Tom Atkins in it.
Vending machines do kill people.
Yeah, on an average of
like 5 a year.
No, 7 to 12 people die a year.
To find a killer vending machine. That would be fucking amazing.
Dude, let's make it.
But a killer vending machine makes sense, though, because they actually could, if it had some supernatural element to it, which of course it would. It's a fucking killer vending machine. It could shoot shit. It's got products inside that it could, like, shoot out and, yeah, man.
You're talking maximum overdrive. I feel you.
A little bit, man. Yep, a little bit. But they are deadly motherfuckers, because, well, I shouldn't say vending machines are deadly. People are just stupid. 7 to 12 people die. 7 to 12 people die every year in vending machine accidents because they're shaking the shit and it falls on them. You guys are retarded.
That's the only logical solution. I saw somebody in high school get thrown through one head first during a fight.
Good Lord. Nice.
It was awesome.
Oh, he must have been fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
Did he actually take some product from there?
No, he just fucking got... They were getting in a fist fight, and the guy grabbed him by, his collar and just fucking hauled him through the front of the vending machine and got all fucked up.
That's amazing.
It was awesome.
That's pretty awesome.
Oh, that's fucking amazing.
At my white privileged high school.
That does not surprise me.
It's public. It was public school.
Yeah, private schools are weak.
So, who's first in this one?
Me. 5.5.
Wow.
5.5, really?
Moods.
That's what Moods has to say about that.
That was a good one.
I actually really like this movie, man. I don't know. I've seen it. I think it's like my 3rd or 4th time watching it. For some odd reason, it just holds my attention. It's probably because the women are so sexy and sleazy that... I don't know, it just kind of holds my attention. You can't not stop at looking at Vita's tits. It's, like, ridiculous.
I know, even when they're, like, not naked, they're just there.
I think
they look like they're about to fall out.
Yeah, he does a good job of just kind of evening out all the scenes with these women, too. It's pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. Some of the narrative is a little bit clunky, though, like, with some of the shit that... I mean, when we get the resolution, you think back on, how we got there, you're like, what? Why was this happening? But then again, I just, you got to turn off your mind a little bit. But this one, I like the visuals, man. It's good. 7 out of 10.
Yeah. I honestly I liked this one more than I thought I would. Once I found out that it wasn't about a killer washing machine, I was like, damn, they're probably not going to like this movie now. And then I was like, oh, look, boobs and awesome. Okay, more boobs. Okay, I like these. This isn't too bad, And then I kind of was into it, with the detective dude and stuff, and I just wanted to see where it was going to end up because I wasn't quite sure. I think that honestly, I could watch this one again and maybe because the two sisters.
I'm taking them to the bushes. I'm taking them to the bushes.
Too loud.
Wow.
Way too loud. The two other sisters, not the one with the giant boobs, I kind of was getting them confused a little bit.
Really? They look so different, man.
Well, they were both brunettes, too. Maybe
it's just they were both I mean, they don't look the same. It's just I'm not good with names and stuff. And
but Maria was just so hot, man. Oh,
she was the one making out with the blind girl too. So that's how I differentiated.
Yeah.
But anyway, I definitely like this more than Cut and Run. I'm thinking I'm at like a 6.5 out of 10 on this one.
Nice.
I don't think it's going to make any top 10 of 93, but it is 93, so I'm not sure. Yeah. It's the 90s. But...
Hey, man, it's definitely fighting for a spot in there with a 6.5. Put it that
way. That's true, too, man.
Even the UK cover makes it look like it's a killer washing machine, damn it.
Thought
I was so excited for that because I was just like, man, this is going to be, I wonder how they're going to make it a killer. Like, are people just going to fall into it, or are they going to it's going to, Like, is it gonna move? Like, or is somebody gonna like reach their head in? Like, oh, I just need to get my clothes in here, and then it drowns them. Like, what's gonna happen here? None of those questions were answered.
You know, I'm fucking positive that Ruggero Deodato makes a cameo in this film too.
Yeah, he's the neighbor.
Yeah, he is the neighbor, right? There's
Yeah.
a scene where one of the sisters goes to the detective's place, and she's, you know, the other one, the one with the symbols and shit. Anyways, she's making a bunch of commotion, and the neighbor opens up his door and kind of looks in there and pans to the detective. He looks back and shuts his door. That's totally Deodato, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
You don't really get to see his face full, but I'm like, yeah, that's got to be him. That's cool. Pulled a Hitchcock
Hell
there,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, what can I say about it? I enjoyed journeying with Russian Stephen Baldwin with his pale blue eyes.
Dude, I never even thought. Like I said, I've seen this movie 3-4 times.
said it first.
I've
I said
never.
the joke
No, you
first.
said German Alec Baldwin.
I've never
Stephen.
thought Alec Baldwin at all, but now when you say it, fuck, that is funny as hell.
He does look like the lost Steve Baldwin brother.
I said it.
That's good. I like it.
But either way, Jeremy, it was still good either way, the joke.
Yes.
So, I enjoy, you know, he's kind of an asshole. One thing that I didn't care about this movie was how he treated his one main girlfriend that he did have.
Yeah, but she was also a jealous fucking slut anyways. So
yeah, well, when you're fucking banging three sisters too.
no,
you know?
but even before he started banging all the sisters, she was acting all jealous and shit when he was like totally a stand-up just detective and shit. She had problems.
That's true.
I don't blame him for banging him because she was a head mess, man.
But good for him for banging three sisters too at the same time. It's fucking amazing. Good for him, man.
Especially when they look like that. Christ.
Yeah, that's always my goal in life too. But yeah, it's an interesting movie. It's like I thought it was going to be a killer washing machine movie the first time I ever heard of it too, JP. So I get your point where you're going there. But this is my third time watching it too, and I enjoy the film for what it is and the aspects of what's going on with it. So, well shot, well cinematography, great score by Simonetti again. I'm at a 7 out of 10 also.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
Halfway
JP,
through, fellas.
do you like Deodato films or?
Yeah, I liked Deodato films before we did this show. I didn't like Cut and Run, but everything else I've seen from him I liked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing another volume of Deodato movies.
Definitely.
I actually enjoyed this one more than most of them last year.
Yeah, I mean, there's still like House on the Edge of the Park. There's still fucking Jungle Holocaust, Body Count, Phantom of Death, Dial Help. There's some fun ones.
Body Count has the most epic cast ever because they have fucking David Hess married the Memsey farmer. That's like the perfect cast.
And it has one of the best theme songs ever by Simonetti, too. Like, that fucking score. Oh, man. So
but it's just great that this guy that always plays like rapists in movies is married to a girl that's always getting molested in movies.
Why does it feel like I've seen Jungle Holocaust?
You may have, actually.
The same... Because Ivan Rasimo's in it. He's the same guy that's in Man on Deep River.
Dude, I swear I've seen this before.
That guy's in every fucking movie.
You probably have. It's kind of funny, actually, because the wife
But why would I have seen
She's like, is this the one? Because I hadn't started the movie yet. She's like, is this the one where they're on the plane and they're taking off? And I'm like, no, that's Jungle Holocaust. She's like, oh, okay. So she sat through Jungle Holocaust with me, too.
You should have been like, no, that was the great alligator and threw her off.
Yeah. No, I shouldn't watch that one. That was dope. That was
amazing.
Yeah. Good shit.
What was the Martino Jungle?
Slave of the Cannibal God or
Yeah.
Into the Mountain of the Cannibal God?
Maybe I'm just thinking that.
I think I had that one.
Yeah, with the pig raping scene.
Yeah.
No, I have Golden Temple Amazons. That's Franco, though.
Oh,
Yeah, it's Sleaze Fest.
All right. I think that's it, right? Everybody rate it?
Yep.
That is it, man. That's going to conclude episode 147 and
Halfway through.
week
Halfway
2 of
through.
Italian Horror Month. So we got 2 more to go. We got Fernando De Leo next week, and we're going to wrap it up with
my pick.
Joe D'Amato.
Yep.
I'm excited for the D'Amato ones.
Yeah, because you already have them all.
Yeah, well, yeah, that is actually one of the main reasons, because I wanted to dig into the Severance.
I'm curious to see how I feel when I watch Anthropophagus, because like I said before, it's a mood film. So, we'll see.
Rob's one of Rob's favorite horror films.
Yeah, man, Rob really likes that one. It's crazy.
He likes island horror movies.
Yeah. It's weird. No, it's not really weird. It's a good setting. But
yeah.
But yeah, so that is going to conclude the episode. Derek, thanks for coming on the show to talk about some Deodato.
Yeah, man, it was always fun. Like I said, this is my second home always because...
Well, considering you have like 12 homes now.
It's your home.
No, I only have 2 homes. The one main show. The other one I'm just a co-host on.
How many co-hosts are on that show? Is it just the 3 or?
Which one?
Cinema Attack.
No, not Cinema Attack. The Kaiju show.
Oh, we got 4 hosts. We have
4 people.
Jerry, me, and the other Jerry, Mr. Venom.
Did you get? I couldn't imagine having 4 hosts because, like, what if like you had an opinion about something and then like the 3 other people all did it? It would probably feel like a game.
No, the way Jerry does it is we go in order and we say things that we liked about the movie, and then
hate that.
And then we do things that we disliked.
Some people do that. I don't know. I've never been able to do it. I can't. I gotta fucking talk.
I don't know. It's just. I guess it's more formally for all of us to get our opinions out there too. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't.
I get that.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, you know how it is sometimes when it's like me and Jeremy versus you moods, or like me and you well, Jeremy doesn't really put much of a fight, so the only would be you 2 versus me. You know how, like, imagine that with another person. It's like, damn it, now I'm gonna have to work 3 times as hard.
I do.
Yeah, but it's all good in the hood. I'm good with both formats. I'm very curious to see how this podcast under the stairs thing that we're going to be doing is.
Yeah.
So I'm always
Puppet master.
trying to do new things and experiment. You know.
Yeah, me too.
So.
Alrighty. Well, let's get the fuck out of here. I think we've been on for a long time.
It's been a long time now.
Am I doing my outro?
Probably pushing 4 hours or now.
Jeremy, do your greatest
Jeremy,
outro, Paul and Brando style.
Take us out of here.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening to episode 147 of the 22 Shots of Moods and Horror podcast. As always, if you want to follow the man Moods himself, you could do so at youtube.com/moods616. And if you want to follow JP over on his channel, youtube.com/doubleshotj. So as you can follow me on my channel at youtube.com/NESRuler22. You can follow Derek over at wherever he's at. And it's just joking, youtube.com/dboucher86. Am I right?
Thank you, Jeremy.
Yes, got it right. Whew, I was sweating there on the numbers. So as you can leave us a voicemail at 724-426-6665. Leave us a question at our email, 22shotsofmoodsandhorror@gmail.com. Please join us on Twitter, twitter.com/22shotspodcast, facebook.com, search bar 22 Shots on Moods and Horror Podcast, and please support the Patreon to get the sand sucked out of my vagina, patreon.com/22 Shots Podcast. And that should do it, everybody, for episode 147 of the 22 Shots on Moods and Horror Podcast. We'll be back next week with my pick, which everybody will say is not horror, but they could go fuck themselves.
Hey, there was at least one film here that definitely wasn't horror.
That's right.
Yep.
Cut and run. Not really horror, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Not really.
Oh, let's do it next week, fellas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chicken wings.